phone. What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. Just working on some embroidery designs, and actually, I need to go ahead and start this one. I'm just working on some orders, getting these out, or I'm done, so I can get them out for the tomorrow. Welcome in, welcome in. You know what? Let me go get my glasses so I can see. Okay, I'm back. Had to get my eyes so I can see. Hey, Vicky, how are you doing? Can you hear me okay, Vicky? Because I got the machine going, but I got my AirPod in. So working on some holiday orders. Okay, you hear me? Thank you. So I figured I would go live and chat with y'all. So I was gonna record a tutorial, but I've just been busy this last week. So I figured if I go live, then I don't have to do any editing or none of that stuff. Hey, pretty eyes, how are you? Did you get your hoop? Your sock hoop? So I'm cleaning up one embroidery design that I did sequins on. And so I'm just taking off my wash away stabilizer and getting that all cleaned up so it looks good. Okay, you did get it. Good, good. Glad you got it. Take these glasses off for a minute. How have y'all been? How's the holidays going? What you working on? All that good stuff. Alright, so I'm just needing to clean this up, and there's a little bit of so I embroidered a few shirts, and that one I finished the front chest design. Now I'm doing the neck design, and then this one, once that one comes off the loop, I got to do a sleeve design. So I did all my chest designs first because they all use the 8x13 loop, and then for this one I'm using my 5x5 loop, and then I got to use my 9x3 when I switch this one out. So I try to get all the chest designs done first, and then move my brackets, and then do the smaller designs. Kim, hey friend, how are you doing? I'm in here working on orders on Friday night, because usually, you know, I be in these baby streets, but hey, orders come first. So yeah, I got 3 shirts. Well, yeah, that one, chest designs are all done. Doing the neck design, that's what's stitching out now, and then I got to do a sleeve design on this one. Alright, let me put my glass back on So you see me looking off to the side. I'm looking at my iPad so I can see y'all comments because I got my phone over here. Veronica, hey, welcome in. Jane, welcome in. I'm doing good, Kim. How you been? All right. Let me get this pulled up. Yeah, I got sequins everywhere. I got it on the floor, on my jogging pants. All this stuff gets everywhere. Okay, just taking my final look. That looks good. So I'm done with the 8x13 hoop. And so this is for a school speech therapist. And so that's how that's looking. And then I'm going to do this on the arm. It says Speak, Sparkle, Shine. So that's going to be on the arm design. And then I'm finishing one for, actually that just finished. I'll get that off in a second. I'll clean this up. And this one is for a high school senior that wanted some text across the front and then 2026 on the collar. Good evening. Welcome in. Let's see. Making sure I'm... Hey, Sharon. I didn't see you came in. How are you doing? Just, I got stuff everywhere. Looking for my lighter so I can clean this up. I've been digitizing. Well, these were some simple text designs, so I was able to digitize these pretty quick. And then just kind of been knocking them out back to back. Making sure I got everything. Welcome in to Be Young. How's everyone doing? What y'all working on? What y'all got going on? Any projects? Stuff y'all planning for the holidays? Anything like that? So I'm gonna get this cut down and then I'm gonna take that one off and then I'll clean that up. Well, get the other one hooped and then clean that one up. Oh yeah, I have one tomorrow too, Sharon. That's actually right by me. But I got everything ready. I started preparing last month, as some of y'all know if y'all were on the last live I did. But yeah, I got everything pretty much ready to go. I just got to put a few more things in some totes and I will be done. But yeah, knocking out these craft fairs. Because this time of the month or this time of the year, especially craft fairs, people are trying to get those quick last minute gifts in. So I always wait until the end of the year and do my craft fair. I do one in the end of the year in December, and then I do another one usually around April for the same place. Hey Betty, how are y'all? How are you doing? Take these glasses off and all right, that looks good. And one thing about sequins is no matter how close you cut, close to your initial stitch line, your tack down stitch, there's always a piece of sequins that tends to poke through, and that drives me crazy. But if you use wash away stabilizer on the top, usually that cuts down on that. All right, so that's that one. So I'm gonna put that off to the side because I have to hoop that one up for the sleeve. And then this is another one that I already did. I love the color combination. It's chocolate brown with a nude thread. It's like a light tan thread I used on that one. And then, oh, that's stitched out good. All right, let's get this one cleaned up. Actually, I'm gonna get my sleeve hooped up. and let this stitch out because this won't take long. And my stabilizer. Thank you. Yeah, it's for school speech therapists, and then I'm gonna do the text on the sleeve, and she wanted it on the right sleeve, so I just have to make sure I'm getting the right sleeve together. So for this, I'm gonna use my 9x3 Mighty Hoop and my backing holder to get this hooped up. And normally when I do my sleeve embroidery, I like to take my hoop in from the top and then bring it down through. Now this is a 2X sweatshirt, so I don't have to worry about it stretching or anything like that. So I just want, and I have a crease on here, so I'm looking at the crease. I've already creased my sleeve so I can get it exactly where I want. And I cut out my text because I'm gonna tape that where I want it so I can hoop it right. Okay, let me put on my eyes so I can see. Should I have my embroidery mirror for almost 3 years? Every time I see your work, I see you work on yours. I want to turn mine on. Ma'am, why don't you have your machine? You need to go turn it on right now. Like right now. Let's see, but I'm scared to bother it. You make it look so easy. You know what? Embroidery it's not easy. I mean, trust me, I have thread breaks. I have, I haven't had any issues with bird nesting, knock on wood, or jamming or anything like that. But you're gonna have, situations you just gotta troubleshoot. And trust me, when I first got a multi-needle machine, when I tell y'all, I was in here cussing, screaming, all kind of stuff. Charles would be in the other room like, you okay? Or he'll be afraid to come in here because I was cussing so much. But you're gonna have to have patience, and it's like you get used to it. Like, I know when I can hear when I'm about to have a thread break. I'm like, oh, here we go. And then the machine goes off and I hear a beep and it's a thread break. But it's like, you'll get used to it. Just start with simple designs. Practice. Don't practice on actual garments. Go to like Michael's, get some of them cheap Gildan t-shirts for like $2.99. Get you a bunch of them and just practice on them. And you can just, use a shirt over and over, like use the front and the back of it just to practice different designs on there, and until you get comfortable. But trust me, it's not easy, but I try to do as much as I can to make things go smoother for myself, if that makes sense. But yeah, embroidery it's not easy. Some people do make it look easy. I see some people that I follow as well. I'm like, dang, that was a nice design. Couldn't be me. Let me see. And I'm over here looking at the comments, so that's why I'm looking off screen. Thank you, Veronica. Hey, Eva, how are you doing? Yes, Sharon is right. Once you start, you'll love it. It's like you'll feel like you need to personalize everything. Like, even if I go to the store and buy some pajamas, I'm monogramming them. Socks, especially now that I got the new sock hoops, I'm monogramming socks. Mine and Charles. Like, everything gets a monogram or some type of embroidery or text or something. You're going to want to put embroidery on everything. It's just like if you're working with rhinestones, you want to put rhinestones on everything. Or if, you're doing sublimation, you want to add a design to your shirt. So it's just, I think a lot of people get afraid of the machine, that something's going to happen. And I'm not going to tell you that nothing's going to happen. Like I said, you're gonna have to thread the machine. You're gonna have to, make sure you check your bobbin. I have signs. I have a little message over here that says check bobbin. I even have that on my single needle machine because I have a habit of forgetting to change my bobbin. And yeah, so that's another thing. But yeah, Sharon is right. Once you start, you're gonna love it. Hey, Brandy.
Baker, how are you?
So just finishing up a couple sweatshirts, just getting my stabilizer lined up. And now this is the backing holder for the Mighty Hoop. I only have the backing holders for this one and my
For a second, sorry, y'all. So, and actually, because my phone started ringing, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I'm filming or on my other phone. But yeah, the backing holders, I have it for the 4 1/4 by 13. This one is really good for like varsity jackets or jacket sleeves in general. I also use this one for pants leg designs. I did a pair of pants of mine where I did a design going down the leg. So this 4 1/4 by 13 is really good for that. And I have the backing holder for this one and just the 9 by 3. The rest of my mighty hoops, I just use the hooping station or the freestyle fixture, stuff like that. And so you just put down your bottom hoop, put down your stabilizer, and then put the backing holder on there. And let me just look at, thank you, Kim. Hey, Karen, how are you? So I have it lined up where I want the text to be. And so now I'm going to go ahead and insert this inside my sleeve and bring it all the way down. And I'm going to put it on the machine from the neck versus from the sleeve. So that gives me, especially with a smaller size, a small or medium, you don't have a lot of room to work with in the wrist part, and then you can end up stretching it out. So that's why I always like to go through the neck of the shirt. Okay, so, and I'm just lining this, making sure everything is lined up because it looks a little crooked. And making sure everything is nice and smooth. All right, and that looks good. So that's where I'm going to trace to embroider this one. Hey, Lynn. Eva said it's addicting. It definitely is. Let's see. Yes, I'm telling Pretty Eyes, she has a vibe machine and she's scared to turn it on. And I'm like, girl, if you don't turn that machine on, I'm gonna start emailing you, like, turn your machine on. Did you turn your machine on today? Like, I'm gonna get on your nerves. So I'm gonna hold it like so, like that, and feed it onto my machine. And because the sweatshirt is a little bit heavy, I got it. Let me grab my stool. I'm gonna put it, I like to put like my blankets and my sweatshirts, anything that's going to like hang off. I like to have something for it to kind of sit on so it's not weighing down the hoop. All right. Now I need to switch my designs. So, um, here it is. Oh, I was still in embroidery mode. I'm like, why the heck is it not? switching my designs. There we go. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, I am loving my buy. Like I haven't had any major issues. I've only had to reach out to my tech twice. And once was because I was having an issue with needle number two where it wasn't catching the bobbin. And I kept changing the bobbin. I removed the needle plate, made sure it was clean. Like I was doing all the stuff. And it was a thread path. It was like off up here on one of the discs. It was like it wasn't it didn't go around a full circle like it should have. And that was it. I was like, oh, oops, sorry to bother you. And the second time was I broke my cap driver because for whatever reason, I normally don't do it, but I had it on the table and I pushed something and it just like fell on the floor and broke into like three pieces. So that was the only time I've even had to reach out to my tech for anything. Everything else has been very minor that I can fix myself. Okay, so now I need to switch my hoop. Do I have my 9 by 3? I don't think so. Might have to program my 9 by 3 in here because I don't think I have it set. Mm, nope. So I'm gonna program that in really quick and parameters frame. And I'm gonna do the last one. And my 9 by 3 is 225 by 76. I have a cheat sheet back here behind my machine because sometimes I just need to switch things out. And let me go into frames, select that one. And I need to switch the numbers because I did them the wrong way or did them backwards. So 76 by 225. And that's the parameters for the 9 by 3 hoop. And so let me go back in, select that one again. Okay, perfect. So now I got that set. Let me look at the comments. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, I got a whole little headband too. Since, I'm all festive. Let me put on the headband. Actually, my husband gave me this. They gave them, or they gave these out at his job's Christmas party. And so he was like, oh, maybe you could wear this or you can hang it up on the wall. I was like, I'll wear it. Let me see. Not to mention my mighty hoops are still in the box. What? Are you serious? So you have the machine, you have the mighty hoops, and you have not turned it on. Really? For real? Like, yeah, you need to turn that on. You need to turn that. You got everything you need. I'm pretty sure you got your stabilizer. I'm sure. Wait, is your machine threaded? It doesn't still have the cut threads at the top. How when they send the machine does it? You at least got it threaded, right? I'm, I'm gonna have to get you on the live, and we're gonna have to make you press that start button together. Yes, Sharon. Yes. What's wrong? Like, are you just nervous about something going wrong, or is the machine intimidating you? Because trust me, my nerves was through the roof when my first multi-needle machine was on the way, and I was excited. And then when I got that delivery confirmation, I was like, oh shoot, what did I get into? Like, do I really want to do this? But yeah, I think And I know what you're going through because I was there. Anxiety, I was nervous, I was afraid something was going to break or I was going to break something. And then once I did, I want to say my first about three designs. Oh, I was good. I was good. Maybe even two. Um, hey, Sean, I also have a 15 needle Ricoma for 3 years and haven't had any time to get started. What? What? Wait, hold on. My AirPods switched to my iPad. Can y'all still hear me okay? Wait a minute. Y'all got these machines and aren't using them? What? Oh my gosh. I've had any time to get started, but I will be starting the new year. No, no, don't wait till the new year. Get started this month. Do not wait till the new year. That's just like when people say, I'm gonna wait until the new year to start working out. No, start working out today. You don't have to wait till the new year or to the next month. Start. Even if you don't start today, start tomorrow, start Sunday. But don't wait because the more you put it off, the more hesitation is going to build and anxiety and all that stuff. So don't wait, just try it out. Just get started. Um, see, I'm scared I might mess up. So I knew it. I knew it. I was the same thing. And trust me, you will. You will. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I have stitched out some designs. I got a whole tote of messed up designs, and I take those and use those when I'm doing samples. Either I use those or I'll use a couple pieces. I'll double up some cutaway stabilizer whenever I'm testing. But even if you mess up, don't throw away those mistakes. You can use those for testing, and it's just learning. It's gonna be a learning curve regardless whether you have a single needle or a multi needle. Embroidery is going to be a learning curve. You have to learn about the stabilizers, the threads, um, testing your designs. There's so much that you have to learn which stabilizers go best with which fabrics. And, you know, it is a lot, but you learn as you go. You're not going to learn everything like within a week or two after you start using your machine. I'm still learning stuff to this day. So you're not alone. Let me look through the comments. Hold on. Yeah, Sharon is like, oh my God, what? I only have a brother single needle, and I think that's going to be enough challenge for me. But you know what? Hey, single needle or multi needle embroidery is a learning curve. It is some work. There's some things you're gonna have to get used to. There's some things where you're going to have to get used to adjusting your tension. I have when I'm doing flats, I have a bobbin case for my flats. When I'm doing hats, I have a different bobbin case that I put my bobbin in for my hats because the tension is slightly different on the bobbin case. I don't have to adjust my upper tension though. So things like that, you're going to learn as you go. And trust me, you mess up enough garments, you're going to figure it out anyways. But there's, this amazing embroidery community here on YouTube, the amazing embroidery community on TikTok. So just follow those that kind of do some of the similar things that you do, or follow people that do embroidery. And just ask questions in the comments or when they go live or whatever the case may be. Because we're all learning different things, as crafters, as we try new things. So do not be afraid, y'all. Um, I'm over here trying to figure out or how to get my husband to finance my machine. I got the man scared of all my machines. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious because now my husband, he won't come in here. Like he'll talk crazy, he'll talk slick from the hallway, but I'm like, he won't come in here because he's like, oh, you got too much dangerous stuff in there. Like, yes, I will burn you. I got like 50, 11 pairs of scissors. I will cut you. Like, you don't want to come in here talking mess. So that's the only thing he afraid of is to come in here and start talking crazy or messing with stuff. But yeah, just tell your husband, tell him you're gonna make him hats. That works every time. Just be like, well, if I get the machine, I can make you custom hats and shirts and you won't have to go to lids. Like, trust me, that'll work. Tell them that. That works every time. Oh, you just brought Ingredients Essentials. Okay, Lynn. Starting to do the digitizing. Hey, Denise, I didn't even see you came in. You're not late. I've just been on here for a little bit. Finishing up the designs that I had posted about on TikTok. Let's see. Wait a minute, pretty eyes. I just saw that comment. Yes, just thread it like it came. So the threads are still cut at the top and tied in a knot. You ain't even untied the knot. Okay. And that's the easy part. That is the easy part. And the trick for that is once you untie it, because you're gonna do this month, right? You're gonna do this like this week. So baby steps. So first thread the machine, okay? And the trick to that is make sure that you tie it. When you tie it in a knot, you pull both ends. Like once you tie it and make sure it is tight. Because if that knot slips loose, it's just gonna pull it right out the machine. You're gonna have to thread it manually. Now you're gonna have to learn how to thread it manually eventually, um, but to get started, just tie the thread, the cone that you want to put on there, tie it in a good knot. I usually do mine's in a double knot and pull it really tight, make sure it's tight. And then I just take it and pull it through the machine. So I don't have to worry about that. Even when I'm switching out my colors, I do the same thing. Um, I think it's only been a few times where my knot has slipped and I was like, oh. So I had to manually thread it. But start with that part. So once you get that out the way, you're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I got it threaded." Then you got to turn it on and get started. Let's see. Mm, mm, mm. Let's see. I'm just going through the comments. Hey, Sylvia. Um, yeah, if you want to do a Zoom, we can definitely do a Zoom. Yeah, that would be good idea, Sharon, to do a Zoom um and just get those that maybe are just starting that have machines that's going to start using them this month because now I'm a bug y'all. Pretty eyes, I got your email, so I'm a bug you and you too, Lynn. Yeah. Okay, let me see here. And if y'all could hit the like for me. Kim, I was trying to pin your comment, but it is not letting me. Maybe because I'm doing it from my iPad. Oh, there it is. I got your message pin. Let me see. What else? What else? Yes, just practice. Yep, Jenny said it right. Just practice. I'm looking at getting the Stitch Artist 2. Don't want to buy one. Just want two in the next month. Yeah, Faker, especially if you're going to be doing embroidery, I feel like you should, even if you don't want to full on digitize, right? You should at least, regardless of what software you choose, you should at least get the minimal level where you can do text, or if you purchase a design say from Etsy or from wherever, or download a design from Creative Fabrica, then you can go in there if you need to make edits, or if you want to have that text and you want to add on to it. So even the base programs for digitizing. Again, regardless of which one you use, you should at least have that base model or that base level. That way you can make adjustments or do your text or, add on to designs. I would at least suggest that because, yeah, these softwares do get expensive, especially if you're going full on digitizing. Um, Faker, love my machine. I am so glad. Faker, which machine do you have? Um, I'm using BES Blue and digitize my first design today. Congratulations, Eva. That is amazing. Thank you, Denise. I try. I be trying, y'all. My thing is because when I would watch YouTube videos and I would be trying to learn something, and it's like, dang, they didn't show this, or I wish they would have showed that, or like I wish they would have did a close up. So that's why my videos I try to be so detailed. Some of them I could be long winded, I know, but I try to give y'all as much detail as possible so you'll walk away from the video understanding. Or as you're working, you can have my video playing and you can, pause it and play and pause and play so you can get the gist of how to do what it is that you're trying to do. Mm. Okay, I recently purchased a by mirror with little to no experience. I highly recommend starting. Okay, there we go. I've enjoyed learning all about embroidery and trying small projects. Exactly. Just start small. You get comfortable, work your way into more complex designs. You don't have to start off doing a full on, chest front design or a full on back, say, jacket or hoodie design. Just start with simple text or just small projects. I honestly think applique is simple depending on the applique, because that lets you get more comfortable with the machine and the process, and you also get to do more than just a simple stitch out. So like that one that I did that's on the machine that I need to start on in a minute. But that one only was like 12,000 something stitches, close to 13,000 stitches. So it didn't take any time at all. What took long was for me to trim down all that sequence. That was it. So yeah, definitely start with small designs and then kind of work your way up as you get more comfortable. Sharon. So you guys, we have a great teacher here. Showing us the best. Oh, thank you, Sharon and Eva. Brandy said, yes, still spending more time watching than doing after getting my embroidery machine. It's kind of shameful. But you know what? I'm that way too. I will watch and rewatch and kind of take mental notes and then I will do. So I'm that person too. Like I can watch and watch and watch, but I'm also hands on. So I just try and do it now. I will say I have messed up some things just because I was like, oh, okay, I watched this twice, I got it, and messed up some stuff. But yeah, watching it over, taking notes, kind of you might have missed something the first time you watched it that you caught the second time that could help you out. So, but you got to still start. It's not shameful, it's just nerves. And trust me, I had them. I know, right? I might make shirts and sweats now. Yeah, and the nerves are going to be there every time I hit that start button. Right before I hit it, I say a small prayer because I'm like, okay, you've been running well all day. No thread breaks, no errors, no issues. It's just been smooth stitching. And then that one time you hit that start button, and it's like, I just did the same design like 5 times, and now you decide to trip. But yeah, I say a prayer every time before I hit that start button, just because, regardless of what I'm doing. Um, I haven't used my sewing machine in a while and done to sleep apart. Uh-uh. And the sewing machine wants to act up. Oh yeah. Don't you love that? It's just like, okay, I was working on some makeup bags a few days ago and everything's going smooth and all of a sudden my machine just like jams up. I don't know what's going on. And then I got that fixed. And then I broke a needle. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just turn this thing off and go focus on something else. Cause yeah, I couldn't. But things are gonna happen. Um, Sometimes you just gotta walk away and come back to it with a fresh set of eyes. But yeah, the sewing machines be on one. Okay, even said count me in on the Zoom. Betty, oh, Sean, I'm going to thread the machine on Sunday and not wait till next year. That's what I'm talking about. Yep. Okay, y'all gonna have to thread the machine. Okay. And then once y'all let me know if you're in the Facebook group. Let me know. I'm gonna put a post on there and say once you thread your machine, comment on the post. And once I see that y'all have threaded the machine, then we'll get the Zoom schedule. Let's see. We reading up some tonight to figure where everything is and how to get it. Let's see. I'm just going through the comments. I think I'm almost caught up. Lynn, I did follow you and do a patch with okay, word for a business, but I couldn't get it to do a satin stitch around the border. Not sure why. It might be you might have to, if it wasn't digitized that way, or if you purchased a patch, you can upload it into your software and add a satin border around it. That's why I say it's good to have at least that base level of whatever digitizing software you want to choose so you can do things like that. Now, I can't speak for all softwares. I know in Brilliance, I think in Brilliance Essentials, you have the text feature. Now, don't quote me on that, but any of y'all that use the Brilliance, y'all can chime in. But yeah, I believe that one has a text feature and actually does have a base level where you can do text. I think they one of their levels you can even do applicate in there without having to get full digitizer. Um, what else? What's the other one? There's a few. I know I've tried Chroma, Hatch, Embroidery Studio, and there was another one that I tried, but Hatch just stuck for me. Um, let's see. Lynn, I love your videos. Thank you, Lynn. I definitely try to go through the comments and as people ask me if I could do a video on X, Y, and Z, I'll add that to the list of like my want to or to do videos. So I take notes when y'all, say, hey, can you show how to do this? I add that to the list. I may not do it right away, but just know it's coming. I want to learn to do sequence applique. Oh, Denise, I got you. I got you. I love me some sequence applique. I love applique, period, as y'all know. But sequence applique is not hard. I think I've seen a lot of people here on YouTube and on TikTok, especially. I get so many comments and DMs like, I keep breaking needles. Are you using a special needle? I'm like, I'm just using a 7511. I don't know. And I mean, it'd be people with the exact same machine as me. So I was like, I don't know. But I mean, again, like these sequences are like the mesh sequence. So they're not as thick, but then these sequence are the velvet sequence and they are thicker. So I do use an 8012 for those. I don't slow my machine down. Use just regular cutaway stabilizer and yeah. There. Oh, and I use heat and bond light on the back. You want to make sure you use heat and bond light. That also makes it a lot easier to cut the sequence too. Um, Need to make sure I'm in the Facebook. I definitely want to join Zoom. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Kim, could you drop if you're still on here, could you put the link for the Facebook group for me, please? Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll make a post on in the Facebook group and y'all let me know. And once I see everybody has threaded their machines, then I'm gonna schedule the Zoom. And I believe on Zoom, I forgot how many seats I can have, but it's way more because I can only have 10 seats on StreamYard, or I mean on Restream. So Zoom will give me a lot more seats. So if it's more than 10 people, I'm gonna do a Zoom. If it's 10 or less, then I'm gonna do it through Restream. And we'll probably just stream it live as well on YouTube. So that way, as we're going through stuff, people can ask questions also. Mhm. Oh, okay. Denise said, yes, you can. You can do lettering with Brilliance Essentials. Yes, Eva said, you got this, pretty eyes. Yeah, Faker, you want the multi needle? I'm actually itching for a second one. I ain't got nowhere to put it. Like, I mean, unless I clear this out, I have to move this whole wall back here. And yeah, my husband probably gonna give me the side. We're gonna have to put the machine in the bedroom at this point. I'm like out of space. Um, Hey, Donzel. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. Thank you, Kim. Yeah, that's the link to the Facebook group Kim just dropped for y'all. Now let me go ahead and trace the design. That design could have been a stitch, but here I am running my mouth. So I have my 9x3 hoop. Let's get this knocked out. Um, got everything hooked up and am going to go ahead and go into embroidery mode. And I'm just bringing my needle down to my center point and making sure it is lined up. And that looks good. And if you're ever not sure if you have it centered, you can always um, drop your needle down and make sure that you're centered. Still, and let's see, so we can do that. So I need to go up a little bit. So let's go up. Let me try dropping it down again. Okay, and I need to move it over. And I'm gonna drop my needle down again, and that is spot on. So that works for me. And then now I want to do a trace. I'll move it just a little bit and then do another trace. It's just so close. That's the only thing that, like, now this makes me nervous is the 9x3 hoop because you're working with a small space and you do not want your needle to or your foot to hit this hoop because you'll do some major damage. So I'm going to do another trace. Okay. Well, that looks good, I think. Now I need to bring it down. Okay. And one more trace and I should be good. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take little piece of paper off here, and we are gonna let it do what it do. And let me make sure I have the right color selected, which this one should be hot. All right, so let's go ahead and hit start. Okay, that looks good. Let me, Karen was asking about the pull-in EOC06. Jenny from the Crafty Puerto Rican, she has that machine and she said she likes it. And she also has some videos on it too, Karen. So check out the Crafty Puerto Rican. Manifesting, 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 right? I told you, you would just be like, I can make you have all the sex you want. And trust me, he'll be sold on that. A lady at work was telling me, I wish I knew you wanted a more, yeah, that's my Alexa. Okay, but but she knew just so wow for 3 grand. She told me I would have given it to you for nothing. Oh my gosh, Taker. I feel your pain on that one. And I'm just keeping an eye on this one just because that stitch area, even though I did my trace, I make sure it's sized down. These, I don't know, just these smaller sizes just make me nervous. But Taker, I feel your pain. Nice Christmas gear you're wearing. Yeah, I'm in the festive spirits, the holiday spirit. Yeah, Eva, that pulling is really popular. Thought about getting a pull in. Angie B has a video on it. Okay, so Angie B and Jenny from the Crafty Puerto Rican. They both have videos on it. It was a new machine, 3 months. Oh my gosh. Wow. I know the feeling. And I'll be looking on Marketplace and I'm like, I don't even know why I'm on Marketplace because I know just had to make sure that wasn't too close. But I don't know why I be on Marketplace because for the simple fact, I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. Um, Now, with that being said, I am gonna need another embroidery machine because my singer, I mean, she's kind of on her last couple months of life. I mean, I had that machine since 2012. And then my Juki is only a straight stitch. So I need to have a machine that has zigzag stitch for when I'm doing clothes. But wow, Faker, I feel your pain. I feel for you on that one. Okay, there we go. We'll pull in. It's a good machine so far. Okay. I'm still loving the baby blanket. And that's the other tutorial I got to do, the baby blankets and the makeup bags. Those are two that I plan on getting done. Okay, I'm gonna say bye next month. I'm gonna try to do them this month, but it's just the boxy bags. I can do them in about 35 minutes. But if I'm doing a tutorial where I'm stopping and explaining, that tutorial is gonna be like an hour. So if y'all can commit to an hour, I'll do it. That's the only thing. That tutorial is going to take a bit because there's a lot of steps to it. Yeah, and this is the part too of embroidery that you have to be careful when you're trimming down your stabilizer because I have cut a hole in a shirt before. So yeah, you have to take your time doing the stabilizer too, so you don't cut a hole in your shirt. And let's see, a couple more threads I didn't burn here. Okay, so sweatshirt number two is done, and then number three. All right, so that is the second one. That one turned out cute. So for a high school senior, so that is that one. And it says the life of Shawnee. That's what she wanted on there. Because originally I had this sweatshirt on my site and it had senior with 2026 on the collar, but she wanted her name. Oh, we're on the last word. And that looks good. That looks really, really good. And another thing that makes me nervous about embroidery is small font. Small fonts make me nervous. If they're not digitized right, it could turn out a hot mess. And so that's another thing. And that was part of the reason too that I decided to learn how to digitize because I had gotten so many bad designs that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have to do it myself. Now there are some digitized or not digitizing, but like shops on Etsy that I really like that does good work. Um, Also, I don't know if y'all heard of the embroidery homie. He does really good work. He's a digitizer. He uses Wilcom though. He uses Embroidery Studio, but I like his videos. He's on YouTube. He's a really good digitizer and does good work and shows you how to digitize. So I really like his channel. And that's another thing. Follow people that digitize. Follow Romero Threads. His videos are really, really good. Very detailed. He responds to your comments. I really like Romero Threads. So if you're not following him, follow his channel if you want to get into digitizing. Let's see what I missed. What I missed. Landrick, yes, welcome, Landrick. Okay, so yeah, I said yes, I will watch. Okay, so I know I got one person that's willing to watch. Now I will try to not make it that long, but again, there's multiple steps. Um, I won't do it where I'm quilting because if I quilted that, that'd be like a 2 hour tutorial, and that was done. Um, so I won't quilt it. I'll probably just show you how to quilt in a completely separate video, but we'll just do a regular standard boxy bag or makeup bag, and I'm just thinking because, cutting the fabric, I'll make sure you have all the measurements or a pattern because I have been working on the pattern for my tote bags and my boxy bags, which Denise says she's going to test for me. So once I finish them, I'm going to send them to her to test and then get her feedback because she sews as well. Um, but I will just thinking of the process, yeah. Cutting all the pieces, putting your interfacing on there. Um, and then I first attach my zipper, stitch, then from there, I feel like once I have the zipper on there, it's like smooth sailing. Once I have the zipper on there, I would say it's about a 20-minute process, just stitching the bag together. And then the way I do it, so you don't have that seam in the bottom. And I have one here, the one I made for myself, this one here. Um, so I do mine with French seams. So you can't, there's two ways you can do them. I do them with French seams just because I don't like that. You can see that stitch line in the bottom of the bag when people have to stitch, whether it's a pouch or a tote bag or a makeup bag, like you have that weird stitch in the bottom. This way, there's no stitch in the bottom. And then I do a French seam. So that's how my seams end up looking on the inside. So they look really clean and it gives you a really nice finished look. And that way it'll be much easier and you won't have to worry about going back and sewing up the bottom and all that. Um, cute shirt. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, my favorite patch. Let's see. Love the curve design. Thank you. Yeah, that the neck designs always make me nervous, but normally I keep mines at what is it? One God, I had it printed out. I usually keep mine at no bigger than like one and a half, I believe. I don't even know what I did. I got so many printouts. I don't even know what I did with it. Oh, here it is. Possibly. Nope, this ain't it either. Yeah, I was printing out a bunch of stuff today as I was doing test stitches. But usually I keep it for the height, usually about 1.5, and then for the length, usually maybe around 4, 3.5 to 4. It depends. If it's text or like a script text or something like that, it's gonna be smaller and it's gonna be longer. Um, but yeah, it really depends on what type of neck embroidery design that you're doing. Um, let's see. The Poulin name is old and reputable. Yes, Poulin by Richword. They're all under the same parent company. So I have been using their thread for almost a year now. And then of course I got my machine in July and yeah, stabilizer, bobbin, all that stuff, Richword. And Kim, you know what? I meant to text you. You know what I found out? Yeah, first of all, I don't know if y'all know that a private equity firm has bought Michaels. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the end of Michaels too. But Kim, I found out, did you know that Michaels owns the trademark for Hancock fabrics? I was on USPTO like I am every day before I make a design, but I don't even know how it came up. I wasn't even looking for it, but it came up Michaels, and then I clicked on it, and then, or no, I was looking for something else, and it came up Hancock Fabrics, and then it said the owner was Michaels. And I was like, why would Michaels have the trademark for Hancock when Hancock has been closed for years? So I'm like, maybe they got something cooking behind the scenes that we don't know about. Um, Thank you, Donzel. Oh, reading it backwards. No, I don't have my camera flipped because I'm on my phone. So I'm on my phone and I'm doing the vertical live instead of the regular horizontal live. So that's why it's backwards. So it says the life of Shawnee on there. And then the other one I showed earlier says FYF, standing on business. And that FYF means F your feelings. I was like, oh, I like that. But no, there's nothing that you need to do. It's backwards because on my phone and not on my camera. Hey Panda, how are you? Hey Ross, I mean Rose, not Ross. Yes, I know, but I'm working hard to learn embroidery so when I get the machine, I won't have too many problems. That's why I watch you all. Exactly. Yeah. Work with what you got and then work towards what you want. Um, don't put yourself into debt to keep up with, another business, another creator, none of that. Just work with what you got and get comfortable with that. focus on learning as much as you can. And like you said, once you're ready to move to that next step, you're going to have a bunch of knowledge underneath your belt that you're going to carry on with that multi needle machine. So definitely, definitely, I believe that in that 100%, you do not have to go out and buy a multi needle and put yourself in debt to get that multi needle. Just work with what you got. Just me, I had my single needle for years and then went on to the multi needle. So, and trust me, I was like that too, like, oh, I could do so much with a multi needle. And I was like, you know what? Let me slow down and to work with what I got. Um, oh, Michael's has been private equity. Okay, I just recently saw that. I thought it was something new. My bad. Hey, precious pieces, how are you? Do you think it could be the number one crafting company? Faker, are you talking about Michael's? With I'm still heartbroken over Joanne's. I wish they would at least take the signs off the building because I have to drive past that every day and it really gets on my nerves. But um Joanne's was a craft and fabric store with home decor and other options. Michael's and Hobby Lobby is like a hobby and home decor store with some craft options. That's how I look at both Michael's and Hobby Lobby because you go through Hobby Lobby, as soon as you walk in, there's a bunch of signs and pictures and all this stuff. And then you go in the back, off in the corner, they got, their sweatshirts and their vinyl, and then you go in the other section, they have some fabric. And then Michaels, and I say it over and over again, they struggle fabric section. They're getting better. The ones by me, they're getting better. But I just go in there some days and I just walk through their 2 aisles. And I'm just like, ah, I just wasted gas coming here. Like Joanne, I would go get me a coffee because there was Starbucks right across the lot. I would get me a coffee and just go and scroll through and touch and feel fabric. Can't do that no more unless I go to downtown LA. But I don't see Michael's becoming a huge brick store. I just don't see it. And I think the CEO said something to that effect. Like they're not gonna be the next Joanne's, which is I mean, no one I don't feel no one could be the next Joanne's, honestly. But I don't know. I feel like they're trying to expand even though they brought a lot of Joanne's private labels or their brands, they're slowly incorporating them, but it's still just not there yet. Maybe in a year or so, but right now I don't see it. It's disappointing. When Hancock went out of business, they brought their inventory right, and that's why it didn't hurt the way it hurt when Joann's closed. Because when Hancock closed, it's just like, oh, I just go down the street to Joann's. So there was another option there, and Joann's. I mean, they had some decent prices, and then I had the app. So if you have the app, there's always coupons in there. But it's like I try to support some of the local fabric stores, but some of the prices is just insane. I went to one fabric store and they were charging like $15 a yard for some fatigue print fabric. And I'm like, are you kidding me? $15 for this? And so I think and I don't know if the prices tried to kind of creep them up a little bit because they know Joanne's is gone and they're like, oh, people are going to come to us now. It's like, no, you're going to run people away with these high and ridiculous prices. Um, yeah, Kim. Michaels owns the trademark. Look it up on the USPTO. Michaels owns the trademark for Hancock Fabrics. I was like, Hancock hasn't been around since a long over a decade. And so I'm like, why would Michaels acquire their unless they did bring on some of their brand or some of their labels like they did with Joann's. But yeah, that's weird. I saw, and I wasn't even looking for it. It just kind of came up on the page. I was like, this is interesting. Steph, I'm from Dallas. Okay, Dallas. Let's see. I'm just going through y'all comments and I'm gonna get this shirt off the machine so I can clean it up. Think I'm going to get two more machines and stuff there, right? Like I say, I'm going to need another sewing machine that has multiple stitch types because my Juki straight stitch, that's all it does. That's all I'm getting out of it. It ain't doing nothing more. And then my Singer is, yeah, she's giving me so many issues, and yeah, it's time to put her to rest. I'm gonna put her on the shelf. Um, so I will be looking for another machine. You know that Juki, I forgot which model number it is that has the touch screen on there. It's looking really nice. It's looking really nice. Um, oh, your Michaels doesn't carry fabric. Both of the Michaels near me carry fabric. There's also one on the other side of town that carries fabric. The location that's close, but a little bit further, it seems like they have a bit of a better selection. The one that's right near me, it's kind of hit or miss. Some days you go in there and like it's just a lot of empty spaces. I do try to catch them when they're at the end of a boat because they throw their boats away. And so I just like run them over here and go ahead and put them in my cart. Um, so I'll try to catch empty boats and take them. But yeah, mine has well, like two and a half. So they have two full aisles, and then the half aisle is all licensed fabric, and then you have all your notions on the other side of that aisle. So they have about two and a half aisles, and that's how both of the stores are. But I did notice their yarn section has gotten better. Um, and I don't knit or crochet. I just use the yarn for sweatshirts for the yarn embroidery. But I did notice that their yarn section seems like it has improved. Um, let's see. It's so hard to find fabric locally where I am. I miss Joann's, Hancock and Joann's. Yeah, every time I have to ride past that sign, I'd be like, it's just like ripping the band-aid off on a wound that's still there. Like, take the signage down because it just hurts my feelings all over again. Mm, Michael's getting more yarn. I know. Yep. CJ, exactly. Yeah, their selection of yarn has gotten better. I didn't see the chenille yarn. I still have a lot of it that I got from Joann's because I went in there and stocked up on that because I noticed they didn't have it in Michael's. They might have it now. I just haven't. Last couple of times I went in there, I didn't look for any yarn. But I noticed previously in the past they didn't have the chenille yarn. I got that from Joann's, and I just made sure to buy a bunch of it before they closed. But I noticed the other yarn, like the ombre type yarn, like these here, I'm seeing those at Michael's. And then I see that they have big twists there now. Um, and I seen some yarn that, and my crocheters, my knitters, let me know what type of yarn this is, but it looks like it's a t-shirt yarn. It's like stretchy. And I was like, "Ooh, what could I use that for?" And I was like, "Nothing at all, probably." But I like the look of it. But it looks like t-shirt and it's yarn, but it's a stretch type of material. And I have not seen that before. I thought that was really cute. Um, I'm still having John withdrawals. Tell me about it, sis. So Joaz is, yeah, Joaz is just, oh man, it's just so sad. And it was like the first time they filed bankruptcy, I was like, oh. But then, they came back and they was good. And that second time when I seen Jen from the Summer Report made that Michaels has filed bankruptcy again, I was like, what? I was like, oh yeah, second time it's a wrap. That first time, usually they're restructuring, trying to get things together. Once they do it a second time, it's over. I knew that was the end. I purchased some fabric from Michael's way before Joann's clothes, and that's when I found they bought Hancock's trademark. Oh, and see, I never knew that. I never knew that. Oh, that okay, y'all. I just want to toot my horn, but look at that. Look at that text. Look how crispy that is. Just had to toot my own horn right there because that turned out really cute. All right, and then same thing. I'm gonna pull this out through the top. Okay, let me get this on the shelf here and move this stool out the way before I hurt myself. Oh, okay, it is t-shirt yarn. Okay. Um, they do carry t-shirt yarn. It's mostly used for purses. Okay, I was wondering because I was like, okay, what is this used for? And yeah, Kim, I probably should have called you and asked. But okay, it's used for purses. Ooh, so is there a way I can incorporate that with my boxy bags or my tote bags? See, see how it starts. Y'all are enablers. Blame y'all. Um, thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Donzel. Thank you, Faker. I use Rich Words. That's my Rich Word polyester hot pink thread. That's what I use for this one. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up. And I'm gonna get all these shirts shipped out tomorrow because the post office is on one this time of the year. So people ordering these last minute shirts, I'm trying to get them in and out right away because we all know how USPS be on during the month of December. Mm, indoor and outdoor pillows, crochet beach bags are popular for t-shirt yarn too. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I just saw it. I thought it was so cute. And I was like, I was about to grab some and I was like, why? Like, I don't even know what to do with it. But that's usually how everything starts. Like, let me just go ahead and get it just because. But yeah, Joann's is it yeah, that still hurts. Now, if they ever decide to close the LA garment district, like we gonna have a problem. We are going to have a problem because I'm gonna have a whole fit. But it's too much going on down there. I don't ever see them shutting that down there. There is just no way. Put my glasses back on. I need to get my glasses tightened because they keep sliding off. Oh, you can make market bags with the t-shirt yarn also. Okay. Okay. That makes because I was like, oh, it was so pretty, but I'm just like, yeah, there's really nothing I can do with that. Like, you know me, I've been and tried to embroider it on a t-shirt or something and been to mess some stuff up. But I'm glad I got two professionals in the chat to let me know that I don't need it. Ah, and that sequence just and again, this one is for a school speech therapist, and then that's why the sleeves have speak, sparkle, shine. Oh, this is a gift that a customer ordered. Her daughter, when I talked to her, is a speech therapist, and she wanted to get her something cute, and she saw my shirts online and wanted some sequins. I think sequins is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. I see more and more people doing working with sequins now, and so I think that is going to continue to be popular. Wait, let me get this loaded up. Then I'm gonna do my product shots. Oh my gosh, that looks so cute together, y'all. I just love me some sequins. Oh, well, three of my shirts are done. I can finally have a seat because I've been standing for hours. Um, Thank you, Denise. Well, Kim, you say you think it might be too. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. And probably not. I mean, with the run stitch, it could still be stitched down, but yeah, it might be too stretchy and might be too thin. Even though I have some yarn in the other room that is thinner than the blanket yarn that I got here. See, Kim, you're gonna have me all up in Michael's and getting t-shirt yarn for no apparent reason other than it's cute. But yeah, it probably will be too stretchy. I don't know if that could be a good or bad thing. And then how will it hold up after it washes? And also you're gonna be able to see the the stitches through it. Whereas with the yarn, the thicker yarn, it hides the stitches. You can't see it in there. So yeah, that makes sense. But I still might get some just because. Um, let's see. Just making sure I didn't miss any bodies comments. Marina, hey. I made my first sequence design sweatshirt. Okay, love the look. No needle breaks, but you were absolutely right. They were very messy. It's the new glitter. Yep, the new glitter. Yep, I'm finding them everywhere. I found some on the bathroom floor the other day. I was like, why? I even had some in my hair because when you cut it, that stuff goes flying everywhere. And yeah, I clean up this floor pretty much every day when I'm working with sequins because it gets everywhere. So I always have my handheld vac and my lint roller as I'm working with it because this stuff gets everywhere. But I'm glad you tried and did your first sequence design. And another tip that I forgot to add in the tutorial that I did when you after you cut out your sequence fabric and you're ready to put it back on the machine for the satin stitch, put a wash away stabilizer on top, and that will also stop a lot of the sequence from kind of poking out underneath the threads as it stitches, and cause the or stop the sequence from kind of getting all over your shirt too. So try that when you're putting it back on the machine to finish the satin stitch. Notice I started doing that and that has really helped. And it also, I feel like it makes the stitches um, look a lot better because without that wash away stabilizer, it's just stitching right on top of that sequence. And sometimes that sequence can poke through your thread. So with that wash away, it gives it a nice finished polished look. Let's see. Okay, Lynn, I'll see you next time. Made my first also, and yes, sequence does get everywhere. It does, but the outcome is beautiful. Anytime I go somewhere, I don't care if I'm just going to the grocery store or I'm running to the gas station and I'm wearing one of my shirts with the sequence on there, I always get compliments or someone asking me where did I get my shirt from, and that's when I whip out my business card. But I always get compliments on the sequence, regardless of what color that I'm using it on. People love the sequence. But yeah, it is the new glitter. Still like working with like the glitter HTV, but I don't know, sequence just kind of gives a little bit something more, a little bit something extra. But I still love my glitter HTV as well. Um what those colorful lights? Oh, that's I have some lights on my machine. I just got from Five Below and kind of stuck it on my machine just to get myself, make it look cute, light it up. And then I can also put it on the solid color as well. That's all. And then I have some lights that go around my pegboard as well. Let's see. What is you the best font to use for sequence designs? Really, I wouldn't say there's a best font. Would just make sure that the design has a nice size satin stitch, because you want to have a little bit wider satin stitch to make sure it fully covers, that again, the way sequins can kind of shift and lay as the needle is going through it. You want to just make sure that is something that has a little bit wider satin finish or satin stitch. I use different designs for sequins or for the sequence applique. A college font would be good. Try to use design or fonts that don't have like too many curves or too many, kind of like A, P, B, like where you gotta go in and you gotta trim out that middle and stuff like that. Or if it has like a lot of curves or small spaces in there, I try to avoid those because it just gets annoying when you're trying to cut that out. But when you're doing that tack down stitch, do it a different color than what you're gonna do your satin stitch. Do it color opposite. So if you're doing black sequence, use a white thread. That way you're going to be able to see the thread better to cut it down. So just a tip, but always use that tack down stitch. Always do it a color that you know is going to stand out, that's going to be easy for you to see when you go to trim down your fabric. But as far as fonts, I really don't have a particular font that I feel works better. It's just how much cutting you want to do. Like, is it because with some of the college fonts, especially like the E, sometimes the E can be that, in between, it can be really thin and hard to cut. So try to avoid some fonts when it comes to that. But overall, um, or if you're going to digitize it yourself, if you find a font, maybe like on the font that you like, or maybe it's something in another software that you have and then you bring it into your digitizing software, you can always digitize that particular font and use that for your application and for your sequence. I do that a lot as well, just because there's built-in fonts in all digitizing softwares, but I also like to try to use different fonts than the fonts that are in the software. So I say all that to say there's no particular font that works best. It's just how much cutting do you want to do on those particular letters? Um Are you going to do another sequence tutorial? Well, I have one that I did. I think I dropped it last Friday or the Friday before. Um, so I just recently did one. It's gonna be, if not the last video I did, it'll be the following video. It's one of the last two videos that I did, and it's giving you all the tips and tricks that I could think of that I found has been helpful. I've been working with Sequence for a little over a year now, and just things I've learned along the way. Your shirts are always very nice. Thank you, Denise. I am a stickler. Like if it doesn't look right, I will make the design over. And at the same time, I also don't want to waste any garments. So I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do whatever necessary steps and have whatever necessary tools I need to make sure I can get the finished result that I want. So that's why when in that applique video, that sequence video, I was saying like these Ginger double applique shears, these were $35 for these little bitty pairs of scissors. But if y'all know Ginger, their scissors are amazing. These things cut through multiple layers of fabric and they're very sharp. So with embroidery, I know we were talking earlier about, people just getting started with embroidery, things like that. Just know it's going to be an investment. You're going to want to invest in the tools that you need to help you get the results that you want. Um, So you're always going to be buying stabilizer, you're going to be buying bobbin, you're going to be buying thread, you're going to be buying blanks, all of that. But make sure that you're purchasing the products that you need that's going to give you the results. Help you get the results that you want. Don't go cheap because I've bought $10 applique scissors and they were dull as heck. So just invest in yourself, whether it's for your business or for your hobby, or you're just making things for yourself or for gifts. Invest in the supplies that you need. That's going to help you get to where you need to be or get the results that you want. Um, is it Leticia? Leticia? Hope I'm saying that right. Are you still doing rhinestones? Yes, CJ, I am. And I was actually going to do a rhinestone transfer video, like a more updated video. I think the last one I did was probably like well over a year ago. So yes, she just had an order for a Aries sweatshirt. I did post a short on it where I did a Aries rhinestone, the Aries word, and then the symbol with the rhinestone drawstring. But yeah, I still work with rhinestones. Of too many packs, too many jars of rhinestones to not work with rhinestones. But yeah, I still work with rhinestones, but I am going to be doing an updated tutorial using Silhouette Studio. But also, I never did one using the Wizard, which is the Rhinestone World software. Their software is really, really good for rhinestones, sublimation, vinyl. They have like mock-ups in there. They have a pricing calculator in there. That software, well, that toolbar, the toolbar goes in Corel Draw, but it has a lot and it is a very powerful tool. But yes, I still do work with rhinestones. That's one thing I will never stop working with. Never. Let me see here. Can you bring a sand stitch font into Embrilliance and make the sand stitch sticker? Yeah, you should be able to. I know you can do it in Hatch, so I'm believing pretty sure that you can do it in any software. So if you have say you got a font from Etsy or Creative Fabrica and you put it into your software, you now speaking from Hatch, because I'm not too familiar with Embrilliance and Hatch, you will want to break it apart and then change, or you could just select that final satin stitch and then you can adjust the width of it. So yes, you should be able to do that in most softwares. I know for sure in Hatch you can do it because I do it the time. But I believe so. I'm pretty sure in Brilliance you can do that too. If you have a lettering tab in your software, I'm pretty sure that you can. That airy short was hot. Thank you. Yeah, that was so cute. I love, and I still wear my I made one for myself, Capricorn with the rhinestone drawstring. I'm gonna be pulling that out pretty soon because it just started getting cool here over the last couple of weeks. Well, maybe like last 3 weeks. It started to get cooler, so I started to pull out my sweatshirts and hoodies. Um, oh, I didn't even see Denise answered that already. She said, yeah, BX font. Thank you, Denise. Let's see. What is your favorite craft? Oh, Denise, that's kind of hard. I think my first love is sewing because that's how I started. And because I like to upcycle my clothes, or even back when I started in 2012 with sewing, I would get stuff from the mall and I would alter it because I wanted to be one of a kind. So I want to say I believe sewing is always going to be my first love. And then embroidery, and then rhinestones, and then sublimation. Probably in that order. But I feel like embroidery and sewing kind of intertwine because now I'm combining the two with the bags where I'm embroidering on the bags that I'm sewing. So I feel like kind of embroidery and sewing might be tied, but I want to say my number one true love is probably sewing and then comes embroidery. But that's a hard one. But yeah, well, I would say sewing and embroidery would be tied again because I'm using them together, and then rhinestones and then sublimation. And I got a laser, and y'all, I don't even really use it. I need to practice more, learn how to use it. Did figure out how to laser cut my letters for applique, and I just ain't been doing it. I still pull out my applique scissors and cut my fabric. So lasering would be last on the list. I'm not a laser girl. And I think though that I think that's all of the crafts that I do. I could be wrong. Um, hey, Sunshine Marie, how are you? You are not late. You are right on time. Yes, please. I'm trying to learn rhinestones and silhouette struggling. Oh, okay, Denise. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll definitely do a tutorial because I actually had someone I don't know if you saw in the by Facebook group, someone was asking how they could combine embroidery and rhinestones. And I was trying to explain it to her in the message. I was like, just DM me. I was like, cause yeah, we gonna be going back and forth. But that's another thing that you can do too. You could combine embroidery and rhinestones. So you would create or have your design in your software. You would want to save it as a SVG. You would want to write down your height and your width from the digitizing software. Then take it into your Silhouette Studio or your Wizard software, and then you resize it, and then you can do a offset from there. So once you resize it, I do an offset and then I delete the initial size that was resized, and that offset is going to go around your design. And then you could just duplicate it and make it bigger, like if you want a scatter effect, stuff like that. So you could combine rhinestones with embroidery. Um, you can combine rhinestones with vinyl, HTV, rhinestones and sublimation, doing a overlay over your design, stuff like that. Or like sublimate on the shirt and then do the rhinestone overlay. But yes, I got you. I would definitely do a updated tutorial in Silhouette Studio because yeah, the last rhinestone tutorial I did is well over a year, probably almost two. Um, Thank you. I'll search your tutorials. I'm excited to try applique with sequins. Yeah, let me know how it goes. Um, Again, I would say with the mesh sequence, you can use your standard 7511 sharp needle. With the velvet sequence, that's going to be a little bit thicker. I like to use a 8012 needle for that just because it is thicker. It's going through more layers of material versus the mesh is much more thin compared to this the velvet sequence velvet material, and use your wash away stabilizer on top when after you took it off the machine, you cut your fabric down, you're putting it back on the machine to do that final satin stitch, put a layer of wash away stabilizer on top. That way it's going to make sure that your stitches, that your thread sits on top of that sequence without allowing any sequence pieces to poke through the thread and kind of make it look when that happens, and if it happens, it, and it will happen on multiple letters, it kind of starts to look it kind of looks like okay, that doesn't look too good, but it doesn't look bad if you do it without the wash away. I just suggest putting a wash away on top so your stitches sit on top of the sequence and your sequence doesn't poke through. um When you made the Sagittarius one, did you get it? Because I have those on Creative Fabrica. I haven't uploaded on there in a while. I need to drop some. I actually have a bunch of files I need to drop on there. But I think I have all the Zodiac rhinestone transfers for the templates on Creative Fabrica. So if you have a membership on there, then you can go to my page on there and you can download those. So I believe I have all 12 zodiacs, or at least 10. I think it was a couple that was missing. You're going to love rhinestones. Yes, that's one thing I will never stop loving. I love the sparkle, I love the bling, I love rhinestones, I love the glitter HTV, I love the sequence. Like, yes, give me all the sparkle and all the bling. I want it all. Oh, Marvin, I bought the X-Tool laser last year. It's still in the huge box in the garage, never used. I wish I never purchased it. But see, I got the Lock Lick and HTV Ront is under the basically the same company. I have that one, but I can only um cut like I want to say 11.5 by 11.5 max, which isn't bad. I mean, I've tested it, I've done a few projects on it, but my thing was, "Ooh, I could use this to cut my applique letters." I did it like twice. Because I just feel like once I create my design, once I digitize it and print it out to test, and probably while I'm running the test stitch, I could be putting the design into the software to do it. But it's like, okay, it doesn't connect to my MacBook. So then have to connect it to my Mac. So then I have to download it from my MacBook, put it on a flash drive, and then upload it to my Windows laptop. And I don't be wanting to do all that. So I just use my applique scissors. But I definitely need to use it more because, especially with this sequence, I feel like it'll save me time and a whole lot of mess from cutting the sequence to be able to laser out the letters individually. So I'm definitely gonna have to try it the next the next sequence sometime soon. I'll say that. I'm not gonna say the next one sometime soon. But yeah, I got that laser. I was like, oh, it's going down, and I use it twice for applique. Hey, Denise is from Michigan. Ooh, I know it's cold over there. I'm originally from Wisconsin, so I already know. Oh yeah, what you say? Can an embroidery design be too large on a sweatshirt? It can be. It can be. I do stick with like the four finger rule as far as spacing where my placement is. Now, this design here is on a 2X sweatshirt. I would size this design down because this is like 10 and a half in length. I want to say 10 and a half by 5. So I would size this down to probably about 10 for a medium or a small. Normally my designs that I do for my shirts and I could wear a smaller or medium. I normally don't go any larger than like 10.1 as far as the width. The height anywhere 4.5 to 5, especially when you're doing applique, because you want to give yourself enough room where you can easily cut out the fabric without having to struggle. But yeah, I feel like you can do embroidery design too big if it's just like text. Now, if you're doing just like lion or like just like some big design, that I don't feel can be too big because there's one guy on TikTok, what's his page? Sonosi, I think. Sonosi Prince. He does some bomb designs, like full chest designs, and they're really nice. So I think if you're doing like a full on digitized, multicolor design or something like that, I don't think you could go too big. But with text, I feel like, yeah, there you kind of want to have a limit. You don't want to make it too large. You know what I mean? But you also don't, I mean, smaller text is fine. I do smaller text as well. But when it comes to like my applique designs, yeah, I do have a limit and I do resize. If I need to resize the design for a particular size, I definitely do that. Um, Thought about getting a laser to cut wood. Yeah, now the one that I would go get this sign, but I'm gonna end up having to move a bunch of stuff. I did like these two. Let me grab them if I can get to them. So I did like these two, just practicing. Like this one just says all things Sean, and this one says passion embroidery. So, and I was just practicing, and I could use this for like if I'm doing mock-ups or photos or whatever, I can use this to lay, in the picture. But yeah, this mine's cut wood with no problem, and mine's is only 10 watts, I think, or 10 something. But yeah, I cut some wood, and it's not thick wood, but it cut really clean. So I did these again, just playing around, and I did a couple other designs. One of them my daughter took, and then the other one I kind of did was practicing. So I did a design on the front and then flipped it over and did it on the back just to save material. But yeah, for stuff like that, I actually have someone, I believe she's in the Facebook group. I actually reached out to her so I could get my templates cut in acrylic for my bags, for my boxy bags and tote bags. So I have like these. So I have like this one for the handles that I do, and then I have one for my tabs that I was able to cut with the laser. But my boxy bags are large and I can't cut it with that. So I'm gonna have somebody else cut my acrylic templates for me just because my paper templates they end up ripping and just wrinkling and getting old over time. And so I'm trying to get more acrylic templates. That way they last longer and I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, I think the lasers are worth it if you're gonna, really use them. I haven't turned my laser on probably in a month or two, maybe two, maybe even three. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try and do some of my smaller templates and see if I can cut those out and then engrave on them. So I really like that you can engrave on stuff. I did engrave on a flask, on my flask. And that turned out cute. So stuff like that you can definitely engrave on, which I think is cute to kind of personalize gifts. Vanessa in the Facebook group, she does a lot of beautiful laser projects and stuff like that. She's really good at it. Um, oh, oh, really? I'm going to your Creative Fabrica page. I vaguely remember you saying that a while ago. Yeah, I'll post the link again in the Facebook group, but I just have like the sublimation rhinestone tumbler templates with the designs that you can, sublimate onto your tumbler, and then you can follow the template to make your own rhinestone tumblers. But I do have quite a few, well, I don't want to say quite a few. I want to say at least maybe like 15 to 20 different rhinestone template designs, and I have a lot more that I need to upload there. But yeah, all the zodiacs on there, and I have a few other ones on there as well. Um, Other than the baby's booty, what other rhinestones do you buy that's good? Xyland Rhinestone Depot in downtown LA. Of about two drawers in here, and then another shelf in the other room, rhinestones. And I just get these jars that I got from Uline, and I just put them in there. Like these are their crystal AB. Look at that shine. And this is SS10. And then like these are the Saim. And so they have really, really good quality. So that is where I always get all of my rhinestones from. Whether it's they have two different kinds too. They have their own brand that they have what's the one? LA Wings, I believe. And then a Kristax is their other one. I like the Kristax. The those I use on my shirts. Usually the LA Wings ones I use on my tumblers. But Land, Rhinestone Depot, downtown LA. I want to say they're like on Ninth and Maple or right in that area. Um, Going through the comments. Moisture wicking polo shirt, 800 stitches or less. Best stabilizer, double up cutaway stabilizer. And I wouldn't do a no-show mesh cutaway stabilizer. I would say do like a 2.5 ounce and double up on the stabilizer if it's going to be for a polo shirt less than 8,000 stitches. Especially if you're doing like a left chest design or something like that, double up on your stabilizer cutaway. Do you have patterns for your boxy bags? That's what I'm working on, Denise. I kind of got frustrated with Inkscape, and because I did the pattern, but then I didn't do my seam allowance. So when I printed out, it didn't line up. It lined up, but it didn't have the seam allowance. So I need to go back in and redo it. I'm kind of thinking about maybe I just need to go ahead and do it in Adobe. Mm. There's not a lot of information out there on creating your sewing patterns in Inkscape. So I think I might just do Adobe, but Inkscape is free. Adobe, you have to pay for. So I'm just gonna have to focus, take like a weekend and focus and get it. Because the thing is, my tile pattern, that's what I was working on, my tile pattern. I couldn't find one anyway. They make them for Adobe. No one makes them for Inkscape. So I was like, okay, I got to figure this out and make my own. Yeah, it went left real fast, and I gave up. I gave all the way up. Not completely, but I walked away 2 weeks ago. But that is what I plan on doing, having my tote bags, my boxy bags, my zipper pouches, and even my key fob wristlets. Plan on having templates for all of those. And well, I have just one size tote, but I now have two sizes for my boxy bags. And I have like a maxi, which is the one that you always see me making. And then I have a mini, which is a little bit smaller version of that larger one. And then I have two different sizes for my zipper pouches. And so, yeah, I want to digital make all those digital patterns and templates. But yeah, it's been a work in progress. And it's been busy with this time of the year. But yeah, that's definitely the plan. I definitely do want to have the sewing patterns available. That way, when I do the tutorials, you'll have also have access to the patterns. And then you can watch a tutorial and use the pattern to make your own bags as well. Hey Jesse. Hey Greg, how are you? How you been? I love making key fobs. Yes, key fobs. If you don't do anything else and you're doing craft fairs, a key fob or a keychain, those are always going to sell. Always. Even if that's all you're selling, you're going to make money off of those. That's one thing I always have whenever I do craft fairs, patches and keychains. Always sell. Never an issue. Um, said hey to Jesse. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Yes, I wanted to do, something a little bit different than just your standard zip totes. Now, I do have a zip tote. So actually, I have two patterns for my tote bags now I think about it. My zip totes, but then I like the totes with the magnetic snaps with the tie on the top. Like this one here where you can tie it on the top, but then it also has a magnetic snap in there. And then it has a large pocket, huge pocket in there. I probably fit my tablet in this pocket now I think about it. 'Cause it's that huge. But yeah, I wanted to put the ties on the top, even though it has the magnetic snaps, just to kind of add an extra layer of security. Um, because you don't have that zipper there, you want to have something that, you could tie it to keep it secure versus just having that magnetic snap. And then just I work with zippers every day making these boxy bags. So I'm like, I don't feel like putting all these zippers in these tote bags too. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be a magnetic snap. That's all. That's all I got. That's all I got. All I feel like doing. Um, am I giving Oh, you're giving key fobs out at work for Christmas? Good idea. Good idea. Yes. I like that. Oh, Greg said doing great. That's good, Greg. How are you liking your I know a while back you got your sublimation printer, your Epson. How are you liking it? I love my Epson. I got the SCF 570. I love that thing. I love it. Just because and the main reason I got that was so I can do the large prints on the Minky blankets when I do the custom Minky blankets. So though that printer prints up to 24 inches and ah, trust me, I have the sawgrass, but my sawgrass only goes up to like 8.5 by 14, well, legal size paper. And so it's like I'll be doing a blanket. I gotta print out like 15 pages of paper and piece everything together. I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Cute bag. Thank you. Yeah, precious pieces. I love the magnetic snaps. I mean, the zipper totes are cute too, but you see zipper totes all the time. You know what I mean? I just, have your magnetic snap. And even if you don't want to tie it, you can always tuck the ties on the inside, or you could just let them hang out, or whatever you prefer. But yeah, I like the snaps for just that way I can get into it easily. Still making fans. Yep. I just shipped off a couple fan orders and I just had someone reach out that wanted I gave them a quote for 50 fans. They were looking to purchase for someone's birthday in January. But yeah, still making fans. I thought it would die down. I mean, it has. Trust me, when that video went viral, I was cranking out fans left and right. Like the orders were coming in like 20 orders a day. And I'm like, y'all really liking these fans. Um, but it has definitely slowed down on the fan side, but I still get the orders for fans. I still have people reaching out and they want those fans. And I've done them for churches, I've done them for weddings, I've done them or like wedding parties, wedding gifts, birthday parties, for trail rides. I'm just trying to think what else. I think that was mainly the bulk of the orders that I was getting. But yeah, everybody got into, stepping in line dancing this year. So those orders, they still come, which I'm surprised, but I'm thankful for. Um, I'm giving embroidery towels and robes for Christmas gifts. That's a good idea. Embroidery towels. Ooh, you know what? I have a bunch of towels I got from MakerFlo, but they're sublimation towels. But to embroider on them, that's a good idea. I like that. Denise, I didn't know you had the Epson too. Wait, you might have been one of the people because I was asking. I think I dropped questions or was asking about it in the Facebook group before I bought it. And you might have been, I know Yolanda did. I think you might have been one of the people that comment on there. Hey, Merlinda, what's your take on magnetic hoops? Do you have an opinion on a brand other than Mighty Hoops? Um, Honestly, for the magnetic hoops, for the multi-needle machine, Mighty Hoops all the way. Um, I've seen other knockoffs of Mighty Hoops, and I can't speak on those because I never purchased them. I don't know the longevity, but I do know they are infringing on Mighty Hoops patent, so I would never touch those. Mm. Now, for my single needle machine, my snap hoop that I got from, was it Sewing Machine Plus? Really like. And that is this one here. Oh, and this magnet is strong. Really like this. And this is for a 5x7 for brother machine. And this magnet is strong. So if you're looking for one for your single needle, I would recommend a snap hoop. But I love my mighty hoops. I have two, four, five, six, seven. I have seven. 11 by 13, 8 by 13, 6 1/4 by 8 1/4, 7 1/4, the 5 by 5, the 9 by 3, and the 4 1/4 by 13. And so those are the ones that I need for the stuff that I do on a regular. But I love the magnetic hoops. I use the factory hoop or the hoop that came with the machine when I got it to do my tension test because the brackets, I had to get a few different brackets for some of my hoops, only a couple of them. But the brackets still worked for this machine. So yeah, Mighty Hoops all the way, all the way. If it's a magnetic hoop, yep, I'm on it. Let me see. I'm just going through the comments. I can't seem to get the yarn embroidery to work. I've watched your videos multiple times and can't get it. So are you, when you do it, well, one, are you slowing down your machine to as slow as it can go? Two, are you doing it on a single needle or a multi-needle machine? And then three, is the design a run stitch? So with the yarn embroidery designs, it should just be a run stitch. and it should be basically duplicated. So you're going to do the run stitch. Well, actually, it should be 3 times. So you're going to do first, almost like an applique, right? So you're going to do your first, your placement stitch, and then that second stitch is where you're going to do your yarn. You're going to tack that down. And that third stitch is kind of just a reassurance stitch to go back and, make as you're as it's going back during that third stitch. I just use one of my what is it called? A crochet needle, I believe. And I just use that to kind of move and adjust anything as it's doing that final stitch. So I would say, yeah, those 3 things can kind of help me give you some suggestions. Are you using single needle, multi needle? Are you slowing your machine all the way down? And is the design a run stitch? Mm, let me see. Oh, Denise, yes, I was telling you how much I love the print. Okay, yep, I remember. Forget. And then I know Greg had asked me about it, or I did a video about it, and he said he was thinking about getting one, and then he got one as well. But yeah, that Epson is worth every penny. I mean, I got fortunate that I was able to make that money right back with those fans like a week after I bought it. But yeah, that I love that printer. I haven't had any issues with jams or clogging or anything like that. No issues at all. I just use MakerFlo's sublimation paper because their sublimation paper is amazing. And then I just use the Epson ink. I didn't get any other types of ink. I just use the Epson ink and it prints beautifully. Um, does that work on the Brother 10 needle? I believe you could get Mighty Hoops for the Brother 10 needle machines, for the 10 and 12 needle. Now that hoop that I showed, that was for single needle machines, that snap hoop. That was for I use that for my PE 900, but sewing machines plus, yeah, that's where I got it from. They have it for different models of embroidery machines. Um, Brother uses Snap. Yes, Merlinda, that's the one I got. I want to say last year or so, and I love it. I love it because sometimes some stuff just trying to press that hoop, and then once you go from your multi needle to single needle, and then you go from mighty hoops to the regular factory hoops. I was struggling. I was struggling, and once I found that snap hoop, I was on it. I was on it. Yeah, I have the sewing machines plus link. I will have to drop it for you. I'll um I'll post it on the community tab or on the post or whatever they call it here on YouTube now. I need a much bigger magnetic hoop. Now they do have bigger ones because I do have a 14 by something. I have a larger one for my Viking, Viking Designer Royal machine, and that one is a larger one. But I want to say for the brother machines, I believe the max size is, well, the max is going to be 5 by 7 for the hoop. They don't have like the repositional hoop like the 5 by 12. Well, at least I did not see that for a magnetic hoop. Um, but you can also get them from Dime. That's the originator of the snap hoop. So I would say you can Google Dime snap hoops and they're gonna come up. Also, they're on Amazon too. But I'll drop the link for them on Amazon because you can get them from there and they're the same price. And actually, now with it being the holidays, they might have a sale on them. I just purchased the ET 8500. Ooh, to convert. Oh, just started sublimation. Okay. Other than using infusible ink. I didn't want to buy a expensive one until I tried it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the sublimation, definitely you want to make sure that it's something that you're going to use, something that you like, that you enjoy before you just go out and spend a lot of money. Same if you're trying to decide between a single needle and a multi-needle. I say if the finances are right and the money's there, go multi-needle just because you can grow into that machine. Whereas with a single needle, you can eventually grow out of that machine depending on what you're doing. But at the same time, you definitely want to start with something that you want to get comfortable with and make sure it's something that you want to do long term before you invest a ton of money into it. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go watch your videos. Well, thank you. Yeah, I tried to, do different videos or try to do DIYs, give business information, give tips and tricks. um, do sublimation, embroidery, sewing, rhinestones, even though I haven't done rhinestones in a while, but we were talking about that earlier. I'm gonna be doing an updated rhinestone template tutorial in Silhouette Studio. But yeah, I try to do a mixture of tutorials, just to kind of give y'all the information that y'all are looking for or asking for. I was going to order Hippo ink. Did I get Epson sub ink? If you have a Epson, I would say yes. Hippo, I heard is good. Cosmo, I heard is good. Epson is good. So I would say any of those three are really good. I use the Epson ink, no issues. I use it with MakerFlo sublimation paper. I use the rolls as well as the sheets and get the same results. So I haven't had any issues with Epson ink. Seen some people in the Epson group that said they had issues, and I'm thinking maybe it's just they didn't adjust their settings. I print from Silhouette Studio and I make sure to select what is it, max quality and finest detail, and I turn off like the fast printing. So I haven't had any issues with the quality at all using Epson ink. So I think it's a really good ink. Um, Thank you. I struggle with tightening the hoops. Yes, Merlinda, exactly. That was my thing. It's like tightening with that. I like that once you snap everything on there, you can kind of adjust it, as you need be, kind of tug at the sides, the top, the bottom, or whatever, to make sure you get that really tight, snug fit and have it sound like the drum sound. That's what I really like about the snap hoop. And the magnets are strong. They are very, very strong. So you won't have to worry about anything because I did try the one Amazon hoop that has like the little, round magnets and you put around, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I used it like once and I never used it again. I don't even know where that hoop is. It's probably in this closet over here somewhere. What's your thoughts on at-home DTF? I had thought about DTF, but I see so many people say you have to stay on top of those machines. If you follow, dang, what's her name? Just a Crafty Mama on TikTok. She recently got the Panda DTF, and she kind of broke down how she maintenance her machine basically on a daily basis. And she walked through that whole little process, and it seemed quick. She said it takes her like maybe 15 minutes. But the way my life is set up, sometimes that 15 minutes, I just be like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow turns to the next day. But I think DTF is good, a good area, especially profitable to get into at home. If you can make your own prints, whether you're just printing them for yourself, your business, or you're selling them, I feel like it's something good to get into. But you just have to make sure that you're going to be able to have that time to focus on the maintenance on those machines because apparently there's a lot of maintenance you have to do on those machines. And that was one thing I was worried about with my Epson. I was asking so many questions like, okay, how's the maintenance? Like, do I have to worry about clogs and things like that? But because with my sawgrass, it's self-cleaning. So it'll randomly pop on throughout the day and basically maintenance itself. Whereas with the Epson, I just kind of do the manual. If I don't use it for, a couple days or whatever, I'll just run a print test or, whatever. But with DTF, it's just the maintenance that scares me with that machine. How some of y'all feel about getting started with embroidery is how I feel about DTF. That maintenance scares me because I see people going in with syringes and they're unclogging stuff and they're having to drain different inks. I guess that's on the white toner inks or whatever. Yeah. So that's the only thing, the maintenance. If you're good with the maintenance, I would say go for it. If you get one, let me know because I'll definitely buy some prints from you. But yeah, that's one thing I thought about, but then I was like, nah, I'm good. I ain't got no room. Y'all know I ain't got no more room to put no more machines. But I think DTFs are good. There's another lady that I watch in two ladies, and they have like six-figure DTF businesses. And I'm like, dang, and doing the thing, but yeah, maintenance for me. So, but I think it's very profitable. Um, all things Sean is all things Sean. Eva, you are a mess. I know that's right. Yeah, I be trying to do all the things, but all the things that I know how to do. You know what I mean? I do like to try different crafts and I try stuff to show it to y'all, to show, okay, whether you're doing it for hobby or business or you're just wanting to make gifts or whatever, here's, a DIY on this, here's a DIY on that. But, there's just some lines I don't cross, and I'm like, yeah, this is not my area expertise. I'm going to let somebody else have that. But yeah, I do be trying a lot of different things, but they're things that definitely haven't perfected, but I've become good at. So when I do tutorials, it's things that I've done for a period of time before I even show y'all. And even when, I talk to products by y'all or I put my links in the description, it's products that I use on a regular basis. And I base that on quality and customer service and shipping. So if the company hits those three marks, they're good with me. And if I see that quality is there, it's something that I use on a regular, then I show it to y'all. But yes, that is what all things Sean is for. All the things. Oh, Merlinda says she uses Cosmo inks. Okay, yeah, I heard Cosmo Hippo were both good inks. Oh, Kim, you didn't like the Epson inks, but she likes Hippo. Okay. Yeah, and it depends. And maybe it's because the Epson that I get, I did not have to convert. It's a sublimation printer. It's a Epson fully Epson sublimation printer, and I didn't have to convert it. So that could be the difference too. With the Epson ink, that maybe it works better with a Epson sublimated print, Epson non-converted sublimation printer. So that could be another reason why too. And get an X tool, very little maintenance. Oh, okay. So X tool has DTF, Greg. I didn't know. I thought they were just like lasers. Now I know X tool is the one that has the apparel maker, right? Or like you could print fabric and all that stuff. And I think it's X tool. It recently came out like sometime this year. And I saw that and I thought that was nice. Um, Oh, I just missed your comment. The apparel printer has very little maintenance, but the price on that, because I seen that, I was like, ooh, I wouldn't have to worry about sublimating onto polyester fabric to make my own fabric. Can just print it from the apparel printer, but that price is insane. But at the same time, well, it's not that bad, but yeah, I don't know about that one. But I did see it and I was like, oh, that would be nice. Oh, Greg, you have the apparel printer, the X2 apparel printer? How do you like it? All machines need maintenance. You are right about that. Eva, what is your tolerance level? DTF is not for me. I feel you on that one. Yes. What is your tolerance level? What are you willing to, how much stress do you want to put on yourself? Put it like that. How stressed do you want to be? So, yep, DTF. No, not for me. I will definitely support you, Denise. I will be your number one customer. I will buy prints from you, but yeah, I don't want a DTF printer. Mm-mm. Dude, I have a thread break. I'll be in here fussing. So I definitely don't want to be trying to maintenance a machine every single day, even though I have to maintenance this machine every day. Even if it's not fully doing a full maintenance, I still have to take out my bobbin. I have to oil my bobbin case. You know, you have to do oil this machine daily. And then there's also daily, weekly, and monthly maintenance. So yeah, every machine you get, you are right. You're gonna have to do maintenance. Check out the X-Tool printer before you write it off. Okay, see, so does the X-Tool apparel printer also do DTF, Greg? That's what I'm wondering. Hey, Sean, how are you? Oh, it uses a lot of ink. Sean, are you talking about DTF or the apparel printer? You can make your money back in a couple of months. Ooh. And see, Greg, the reason I was thinking about it because I could do custom fabric for my bags. Because we all know we were talking about it earlier, Michael's and they struggle fabric section, and then Hobby Lobby ain't no better. So that was the reason I would like to be able to print my own fabric. That would be dope. But yeah, that cost. But I feel like with the tote bags and the makeup bags, and like as the orders that I get, yeah, it probably could, I can go from in the red to the positive within a fairly decent amount of time. Um, hey Linda from Kentucky, how are you? Mean that brother fabric printer uses a lot of ink. Oh, okay. The brother, I didn't know brother had. Oh, wait. I think I did see that. I believe I did see that. See that, but that X Tool fabric printer, you can print bigger with that versus the brother one, I believe. But yeah, Sean, I did see that a while back when I was on brother's website. Um Yes, and you only have to clean the blades every 7 days. It cleans itself. Oh, okay. No, I don't want a DTF either. I'm good on that one. Right, Denise? I'm like, I thought about it for a minute, but then I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Now, if it cleans itself, now that's a positive. That's a good thing right there. I like that. I'd rather order DTF prints. Exactly. Mm-mm. Yeah, I don't want to deal with DTF. This is strictly DTF machine. No. because I just see so many tutorials or so many TikToks of people complaining and it's clogged and it's this and it's that. I'm like, yeah, no, really not. I rather order DTF prints already. Yes, it's DTF. Oh, it doesn't print fabric. Okay. So the apparel one just is DTF. It doesn't print fabric. Okay, I thought it printed fabric. Mm. Oh, okay, the old style printers. Okay, okay, that makes sense because yeah, I was like, I thought it printed fabric, but I did see, like Sean said, the brother fabric printer, but she was saying that it uses a lot of ink. So yeah, that could probably be where the cost is going to kind of maybe eat up any profits that you get because you have to constantly buy ink. With my Epson, my ink is good, especially compared to my Sawgrass. Because the Sawgrass, if you need to buy all four cartridges, that ink is gonna run you over $300 for your cartridges, and it's not that much ink. Whereas my Epson, I mean, what is it like 150, 160? Well, I think they recently went up on the prices, but even still, like, that is really good, and the ink on my Epson lasts way longer than, on my Sawgrass. That Sawgrass was going through because I was having to print so many prints because I was limited on the size option, especially doing those huge Minky blankets. I'm printing out 25 pieces of paper, like, putting them together, taping them down, and pressing in sections, like, it was a hot mess. But, with my Epson, even doing large prints, like I'm good. Even when I was doing all those fans, I want to say I was probably having to order a set of inks monthly. So it was still doing really good on inks, even though I was printing a good 20 plus fans per day. I'm gonna say some days it was like 30 and 40. And then any bulk orders that I get, I think my bulk orders, that was using the majority of the ink because had some bulk orders, 50 fans, 100 fans. I had one or a few orders for like 500 fans. So the bulk orders ate the majority of the ink. But it still did much better than my Sawgrass, way better. And it was way cheaper. Um, Jenny, loving this live and hate to go, but going to bed now. Oh, yeah. Oh, dang, it's 8:36. Well, 8:36 here. But thank you, Jenny, for joining. I will see you in the next one. And don't forget, were you one of the ones that's starting embroidery and gonna be on the Zoom? Make sure you're in the Facebook group. So I know when all of y'all thread y'all machines so we can set up the Zoom. Glad I made it up to your live. Miss Sean, have a great evening and great weekend, everyone. You have a great evening, rest of your evening, and a good weekend too. Thank you for joining. What are your tips for embroidering Minky blankets? Um, for embroidering on Minky blankets, I highly suggest doing a knockdown stitch and using wash away stabilizer on the top. And it's a matter of preference, but I prefer to use cutaway stabilizer over tearaway. Now, the whole rule of thumb, if you wear it, don't tear it. But I just noticed with that material, because Minky does have stretch to it, it can shift. So I prefer to use cutaway stabilizer for that. And with that, you can use a no-show mesh stabilizer or a standard like 2 ounce, 2.5 ounce stabilizer. But I highly recommend a knockdown stitch or a lay down stitch, whichever you call it, and a wash away topping on top of your text. Even on, well, on top of your knockdown stitch. wait, your blanket, and then put your wash away stabilizer away. I had to think about that. But yeah, for embroidery on Mickey, that would be my tip. Because especially depending on the type of Mickey that you're using, are you using Mickey dot? Are you using Mickey rose? Are you using Mickey cuddle? There's so many different variations of Mickey, and the pile on Mickey cuddle and Mickey rose is going to be higher versus a Mickey dot is, but across the board, knockdown stitch, wash away stabilizer, and for me, cutaway stabilizer underneath. And that way I have no issues, good stitch outs each time, no issues with my lettering, shifting, anything like that. And when I sew it, using glad wrap to pull it out is another secret of mine. I'm gonna have to make a tutorial on it, but using glad wrap before you sew without having to use any pins, and it makes it less messy when you're trimming it down after you sew it together. I can print 100 prints and walk away from my X2 printer and prints, cuts, and breaks. Ooh, and breaks the transfers. Oh, wow. Okay, Kim, I will see you later. Thanks for joining, sis. I appreciate you. 100 prints. Ooh, wish I could walk away from my machine while it's embroidering, do occasionally, and I'm just like listening for certain stuff. But every time my machine stops in between letters, I'm like, is that a thread break? And then it starts up again. So yeah, to be able to walk away from your machine, Greg, like that's nice without any issues. Oh, even like, oh, you're even ready for the Zoom. Oh, you and Pretty Eyes. And yeah, I'm gonna stay on Pretty Eyes case because she got the machine, she got the mighty hoop, she got the thread, the stabilizer, the bobbin, she got all of it. And ain't turned on her machine. So I'm gonna stay on her case and yours too, Eva. You have a good night too, Kim. I'll make sure to reach out, text you soon. I have a question. Do you do nails? Like nails, nails? No. Nope. I don't even do my own nails. So I just maintain my nails. But no, if those are the nails you talk about, that's one thing I don't do. But let me grab. Where is my? Ooh, do I? Oh yeah, here it is. Done. So glad press and seal. This right here for minky blankets. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's my secret weapon. That is my secret weapon. You do not even have to use any pins when you're using this press and seal. I'm gonna have to do a tutorial, and I probably won't do a large one. I'll just do like a small, maybe like a lovey or something like that. But this stuff right here is the truth. When I say no pins, no mess, no shifting while you sew, get you some of these. I know Walmart hate to see me coming because I be getting like five, buy like a bunch of these at a time. Let's see. Oh, what do I do first time here? So embroidery, rhinestones, sublimation, sewing, pretty much are the areas that I stick to. So, Kay, that's what I do on my channel, DIYs. Oh, Greg, I didn't know you had to buy. Look at you. I did not know. Well, I remember you showed the picture of your machines. You had a few sublimation machines or different printers. I didn't know you did embroidery too. And DTF. Okay. I'm gonna have to reach out to you for some DTF prints. tried, what company was that? Because I did order some neck labels, and I think that was it Ninja Transfer or some company, but I didn't like how they looked after I did a couple wash tests. It's like they started to wrinkle up, and I didn't like the look. I don't know, maybe it was user area error, or maybe it was something that I did wrong and my AirPod is getting low. So let me switch to my other one. Wait, let me sure. Okay, just making sure my phone picked it up. But yeah, it turned out it was like really wrinkly after a couple washes, and I didn't like it. But I wanted to have I had custom neck labels made, but I just didn't like them, so I stopped using them because I didn't want to put it on a garment, send it to a customer, and then they had the same issue. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to you. Stay on me, I'm chicken. I got you, Eva. I got you. Don't even worry about it. Trust me, in the Zoom, when we all join that Zoom, hey, it's gonna be, people just starting out, and so we're just gonna go step by step. Um, what the heck is a Mickey blanket? What? I don't know what a Mickey. Oh, do I have one in here? I don't. I have to go grab one. Hold on. Let me go grab one, Eva. Wow. Okay. So this is a so this is the Minky blanket. So I made one for myself and one for my husband. Mine says Mrs. Here says Mr. But this one is a Minky dot and fleece. Just did a regular fleece on mine, but they are really, really soft, really smooth. These are really good. Um, I mean, when I do mines, they're baby blankets, so they're really good for baby skin. It doesn't cause irritation to their skin or anything like that, and they're just so to the touch. But then I normally use Minky Dot and Minky Rose. Occasionally, I'll get somebody that wants a Minky Cuddle blanket, but that's what Minky blankets are. But oh, they are so soft. When I just went to grab mine, my husband in the living room on the couch, and he like wrapped up in his watching TV, or he's well with the TV on, and he's on TikTok. But yeah, Minky blankets are so soft. Um, See a lot of people buying press on nails. Yeah, yeah, I see that too. But it's just like with all the stuff that I'm doing, trust me, I've these applique scissors as I'm cutting, some of the fabric and hold it, I've cut my nail before. So it's like just don't. I just don't. Um, I used to, go to salon and always get my nails done. I still go and like get my pedicures and all that stuff faker. But yeah, as far as the nails, like I'm working with all these different, sewing and embroidering and hooping and cutting. And it's just like sometimes the nails get in the way. So I just, let my nails grow out. If one or two of them break, I'll cut them down and let them grow out again. But yeah, I noticed that too, Faker. People are, and some of them be looking nice. Like you can't even tell that they're press-ons. That be the thing. Oh, thank you, Pippa. Um, I heard that it was best to use press and seal. For the Minky blankets, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We keep this stuff, boxes of it. I keep it, I keep it, I keep it. Greg has been a member for 23 months. Woo, woo. Thank you. Greg, for always showing love and support. Appreciate you. Let's see. Trying to pin that. And it won't let me pin that, but thank you so much, Greg. That is awesome. 23 months. You've been rocking with me for almost a couple of years. Um, let's see. Can you show it again, please? Oh, the Minky blanket. Pippa, here it is. So this is the Minky dot. I have some Minky rolls. I have to grab it. It's in the other room, but you can see it has that. And one thing about this, you can't press it. You can't heat press it or anything like that. Otherwise, it's gonna flatten out your dots. And yeah, and that is again, I did mine with flannel. Yes, I love Minky. Let me grab a little bit of Minky rolls so you can get a look at that too. Um, oh, I have trying not to make a bunch of stuff. I got fabric stacked everywhere. So this is Minky Rose. I like using this one too. Look how soft and fluffy this is. I love this stuff. And that's the front of it. The back of it looks like that. But this Minky is so shifty. When I tell you this stuff glides and glides, it gets all over the place. Like seriously, but I love Minky. I love making the blankets. I love embroidering on them, sewing them together. And like I say, this press and seal is the truth. It is the truth. It, oh, hold on, y'all. I gotta plug up my phone because I got my little battery warning. I don't want to die on y'all. My phone to die on y'all. Let me plug this up. And yeah, I'm on my phone versus my camera. Okay. Well, good night. Thank you so much for joining. Good night. Good night. You're still learning, Greg? Yeah, and embroidery is ongoing. You're gonna continue to learn. Um, it's just ongoing learning process. I mean, once you have your foundation down, that never changes. It's just, different materials require different things. So, yeah, it's definitely a learning process, but I enjoy embroidery. I enjoy sewing. I enjoy the process. I learn new things on a regular. So, regardless of how long you've been doing it, you're going to continue to learn. Even Applique Alley, I don't know how many of y'all follow her, but she digitizes, she sells digital designs, and she's been digitizing for like over 10 years. And she's like, yeah, I'm always learning stuff every day. I'm learning stuff on a regular basis. So whether you're digitizing, embroidering, or now if you're just digitizing, should still have an embroidery machine so you can test your designs. So you can make sure they don't have any issues. But you're always going to be learning with embroidery. So that's why I feel like even if you're just starting out, and those of us that were talking earlier that are nervous, scared, anxious, it's going to be a learning curve regardless, and it's going to be ongoing. Um, Thank you, Sean. What's that? A baby blanket. I make those for my great nieces and nephews. Yeah, yep. So normally I made one for myself, my husband, I made my daughter one. And but mainly when I'm getting orders, they're either for babies or toddlers. So those are in like teens. I have baby toddlers and tweens, that in between phase. So yeah, any larger than that, I don't want to make it unless, it's a special custom request. But yeah, the Minky blankets, because they shift so much, and even with the press and seal, you know, it does good, but at the same time, yeah, I try to limit myself to a certain size blanket that I make just because that's what works for me. Because yeah, I don't want to be dealing with it. I'm embroidering right now. Okay, Landry. Yeah, I finished mine, so I'll be able to. I just got to print my labels and get these three out tomorrow. So this one, all of them turned out really, really cute. I'm loving the neck embroidery, and I'm loving how the sleeve embroidery turned out on this one. Um, Carson, hey, how are you doing? Thank you for the hearts, Sean. Appreciate you. Yes, Faker, it is extremely soft, especially like the Minky Rose that I just showed you and the Minky Cuddle. Do I have any more Minky Cuddle? No, I don't. Mainly make blankets with the Minky Dot and the Minky Rose. I do make it blankets with Minky Cuddle, but if someone just because the Minky Cuddle, yeah, that stuff is something else. But yeah, those are the two that I mainly use. And most people, the majority of people like the Minky Dot. I think just because it's more popular than the other different variations of Minky. Um, your videos have taught me so much. Well, thank you. I'm glad my tutorials are helpful. I love hearing that when y'all let me know my videos have been helpful for y'all because that's why I'm making the videos for y'all. Um, you do continue to learn exactly, Sean. Been embroidering for over 10 years and there's always something right. Exactly. A certain stabilizer may work better with a certain type of fabric, or you never know. You have to adjust tension for certain things. Like I was saying earlier, different I can't even think of the name. Bobbin cases. Like I have one for my flats that's set to a certain as far as the tension is set to one thing, while my bobbin case for my hats is set differently, just because different things require, again, different tension, different stabilizer, so there's always going to be something that you're learning whenever you're embroidering, regardless if you have a single needle machine, a multi needle machine, the foundation is going to be the same from one machine to the next, but then there's going to be layers. There's going to be more that goes on top of that that you learn as time goes on, or as certain situations come up, or as you get certain orders or requests, things like that. You're just going to have to navigate, or cross that bridge when you get to it, so to speak. But again, going back to the amazing embroidery community here on YouTube, on TikTok, people that try to help each other out, answer questions, do tutorials, and all of that. Sean does a lot of sewing and embroidery, laser, quilting. She's the crafter's crafter as well. But y'all make sure to check her out. Did it take you a while to get your attention right on your multi-leader? I'm expecting mine in a week. Well, congratulations. Ended up doing, I want to say, 5 tension tests. And that's just me. I wanted to have my tension dialed in right. It should be one third, one third, one third. So, I had a few, as I was getting more and more of my needles tension dialed in, it was some that were kind of off. So I just had to go and adjust those. And yeah, I ended up doing 5 tension tests. And I was only turning my tension a little bit at the time, depending on whether too loose or too tight, or, whatever the case may be. I adjusted it as need be. And you only want to turn that tension wheel a little bit turn it like a fourth at a time. Do not just like get on there and just start turning and turning and turning. Usually, when you get your machines, they should be somewhat dialed in, but then you want to go in and make sure you're doing that on your machines. So yeah, 5 different tests, and then I've been good. I haven't had to really touch my attention. Oh, again, just the bobbin cases when I switch from flats to. Other than that, I haven't had any issues with tension once I was able to get it dialed in. But yeah, you want it to be one third, one third, one third. Um, when is your Zoom? I would love to join it. So I'm gonna post in the group, Greg. So there's some people that still need to get their machines. Some people have multi needles, some have single needles. The multi-needle people are going to get their machines threaded and set up and ready to go. And then from there, we'll jump in and I'll probably just have some designs, some simple designs that I'll digitize and send to everyone so we can all like work on the same design, and then I can answer questions and we can help each other as we're going through the process. So I'm guessing it probably won't be maybe till January, with the holidays and everything coming up. So I'm guessing sometime maybe early January is when we'll do the Zoom. But I'll post in the Facebook group, see if everybody's ready to get started on or to do the Zoom, and then I'll get everything scheduled and post. I'll post it in the Facebook group, and I'll post it on the, what is it, community tab or post tab here on YouTube as well. Oh, can I show what I made tonight? I sure can. So this is a gift that a mother is getting for her daughter. She's a school speech therapist. So I know I'm like reverse, but it says SLPA, and then the text on the sleeve says "Speak, Sparkle, Shine." Oh, and that is with the multicolor rainbow with a satin stitch finish. This is for a high school senior. She just wanted the life of Shawnee on there with 2026 on the collar. And this is for someone that's doing a prototype almost of their business. So they're looking to get their own custom merch. And just this is their first one. So it says FYF, standing on business. So those are all the ones that I was working on as I've been on live for a while. I love that color combination, the chocolate brown with the like the nude or like the light tan. It looks really clean and crisp. I like that look. Like the color combination. I never even thought of that before. Mm, let me go back through the comments. Denzel, of course, of course. I'm trying to work on going live more often. Denzel, y'all know I'm an introvert, so I be having to like mentally prepare myself to go live. Mm, But once I get on here, get to talking and y'all are questions and chatting with each other, then I kind of ease up and relax. Mm, Denise, I love your videos, Sean. I've learned so much from you. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that, y'all. I really, really appreciate that. Trust me, I put a lot of thought into my videos, and that's why some of my videos can be a little bit longer, just because I want to give y'all all the small details that, a person, if you're doing something on a regular basis, you might think, okay, they don't need to know that. But I try to include those things, like they probably do want to know that. So yeah, I try to be as detailed as I possibly can in my videos, give y'all like over the angles and just kind of walk you through things step by step. So you'll walk away from my tutorial and you'll feel good to be able to try what it was I did in the video, whether or whether you're wanted to try it or you were just watching or whatever the case may be. But thank you, Denise. Thanks for all your help. Your videos are top notch. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. That means a lot to me. That means a lot. Learned to set up on my 15 needle, and that was something. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Been any major issues. I feel like tension is usually where most people struggle because a lot of times they're not getting it dialed in correctly or they don't do a tension test at all. I'm in different Facebook groups and I see people and they'll post their designs and be like, I don't know why this happened. And people ask them certain questions, and a lot of times it's because tension. Um, and you want to also use a good thread. You want to use, the correct stabilizer. There's different weights of stabilizer, and depending on that weight or depending on the fabric type, you have to just, make sure you're picking the right weight of stabilizer for that particular garment. So that comes into play. So again, there is a lot to learn, but you're not going to learn everything overnight. You're not going to learn everything in a month. Like Sean said, she's been doing it for 10 years and she's still learning stuff. And it's going to be a learning curve. It's going to be ongoing learning. You're not going to learn everything right away. Just learn what you need to for what you're making, and then you kind of just add on and build on from there. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, Greg, sounds great. Yeah, I'll post everything. I'm guessing early January. Mm, yeah, within the first 2 weeks, because that third week I'll be in LA in Long Beach for impressions. So I'll definitely do it within probably that second week of January is what I'm thinking. Most likely a Saturday or a Sunday. That is so nice. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Landrick. Yeah, the color combination, I just really love it. And then the pink on black. I mean, that's always gonna look good, but I never thought about like that brown and that light tan. That looks really good together. I actually have another brown sweatshirt, so I might have to do an applique on that for myself using those colors. Um, oh yeah, that's right, Denise, the friendly introverts. Yes, we are the friendly introverts over here. And a lot of us in the Facebook group are introverts. I be having to be like, okay, y'all can post. But yeah, yeah, very friendly introvert. Like, if so cool, y'all. I'm cool as a fan. I'm down to earth. I'm laid back. But it takes me a minute to warm up. You know what I'm saying? It takes me a minute to get there. But yeah, I'm laid back, y'all. I'm very laid back. I'm just like not that person that likes to like I'm like not a group speaker. I can get on a stage and speak in front of a crowd. That would drive me insane. Like, yeah, that's something I can't do. So, but getting on here, it's like, yeah, even though, I'm talking to a camera, but there's people on the receiving end of that. And the people that are on the receiving end of that, also those that, want to see what I'm working on or what I'm talking about or chat with others or get information, ask questions. So I think that's where, it kind of causes me to relax. But yes, we are the friendly introverts over here. Yes, Sean, I'm ready for the Zoom. I took the plastic off my machine tonight. Okay, pretty eyes. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna email you. Okay, you took the plastic off. That's a big step. That's a big step. So next, pick your 15 colors and go ahead but remember what I said, make sure when you're tying them at the top, you pull that thread and do a double knot and make sure you pull it tight. That way it won't slip off when you're pulling it through the machine. So just double check those knots. If you gotta retie it 2 or 3 times, just take your time and do that. That's gonna make your life so much easier once you slide that thread through. But eventually you will have to learn how to manually thread your machine without pulling it through. Try to pull the thread through as much as possible, but there's times where it slipped off or whatever the case, and I'm just like, hey, gotta do it. And once you get to that point too, with even threading your machine, you're gonna be like, oh, I was scared of nothing. I was nervous for nothing. Um, Yes, Eva said, you got this, pretty eyes. Exactly. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. And again, I was there. So I know exactly how you're feeling because I was excited. And then once I got that delivery confirmation, I was like, dang, maybe I should cancel this. What did I get myself into? Do I really want to do this? I don't know how to work this. Like so many thoughts went through my head within that shipping window. Y'all, it was insane. And then it's like once you do that first stitch out, you do that test stitch, and really you're doing your tension test. So technically, that's kind of like your test stitch. You're getting started, you're getting kind of warmed up to the machine by doing your tension test. So, but then once you do your actual first few stitch outs, you're gonna be like, oh, this ain't nothing. But I know exactly how you're feeling because I was there. Um, Thank you, Sean. Let's see, what did I miss? Yeah, Sean, what are you making? You say making stuff. And Sean, you see, I'm quilting bags now. I'm quilting my makeup in my tote bags. Baby steps. I'm not a full-on quilter. You're not gonna catch me with the long arm and all that stuff. I'm just doing one line. Not doing the crisscross. I'm not none of that. One simple line. But I'm quilting now a little bit. The cameras are beautiful. Multitasking over here, getting ready for a holiday show tomorrow. Yeah, I have a craft fair too coming up, but I have everything ready to go. Um, oh, my sequence material, I get it from downtown LA. But they don't have a website. So whenever I can't get to downtown LA, I actually FaceTime with the owners and they just kind of walk through the store. I'll be like, yeah, I want that. I want that. I want that. Um, Kiki Textiles is another place you can get sequence fabric from, and that's KIKI Textiles. You can get good quality sequence, and they have the velvet sequence and as well as the mesh sequence. Um, JS, is it JSMS Creations? Hello, hello. Welcome. Items are now made prepping for my display, like putting things in shelves hang. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually put my stuff in totes, especially like the boxy bags. And then I got like a nice size tote of like keychains, patches, stuff like that, and just like little other stuff. Cause you have some customers. I'm gonna have people that want the makeup bags and the tote bags, but then you're gonna have people that want like $5 and $10 items. So that's where the patches and the keychains come in. So I try to have a mixture of price points, especially for the one craft show that I do. That's what I noticed the crowd is kind of like a mixture. Yes, you are. I'm the same way. Yeah, Denise, I already know. Did you digitize? Yes, Eva. So, all of the designs, I digitized myself. Man, I'm would say as far as digitizing, I mean, like I was saying in multiple lives, well, lives a while ago, like I did John Deere's hat course, like the 3 level courses, probably like a year and a half ago, and that really helped me get really good with digitizing because he really broke everything down. Do have his L software, and I have to say I really need to go in and go through the lessons and that, but I'm so comfortable and familiar with Hatch, but I'm eventually, take some time, put it to the side, and do his programs for the new software. But yeah, um, going through those programs really helped me out a lot. And I'm a text and applique person. So I do like the fact now that I'm learning will come embroidery studio that you can create your own text or your own fonts in there, your own alphabets, all that. And then I can also download it and bring it over into. So that's what I'm loving about Wilcom and also Hatch. But yeah, so I digitize these designs for these sweatshirts. Normally, I try to usually digitize most of my designs. Do have a digitizer that I use if it's something above my pay grade. So I always keep a digitizer on hand because, yeah, some designs I just be like, I don't have 5 hours to try and digitize this design. But yes, I did digitize these. Karen said, yeah, don't be afraid. Yeah, you guys, you just got to start. You got to start. Whether you're sewing and doing embroidery, doing sublimation, working with rhinestones, whatever, DTF, whatever type of craft that you're doing, you have to start somewhere. We all had to start somewhere. So it's just a matter of getting over that hump, getting over that fear, that anxiety, that nervousness, because usually it's the fear of, I don't want to break something. I don't want to mess something up. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. You gonna mess stuff up. I do it to this day. So I have a tote, my mistake tote. So hey, it happens to all of us. So you're gonna make mistakes. It just use it as a learning opportunity for what not to do next time. Look at it, see what you did wrong, and learn from it and move on. You're gonna make mistakes, but you're gonna learn and you're gonna get better at it. So definitely don't be afraid. Vanessa, hey, how are you? You can do it. You talking to us. And I know. And like when I'm on TikTok, sometimes I do like joint live, so it's somebody else. So usually I can talk, we can talk back and forth, and then as well as chat. But at the same time, I like hanging out with y'all, chatting with y'all, because y'all ask questions, y'all help each other out, and that's what it's all about. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better. One live at a time. Prayed over my machine and jumped in. I know that's right, Carson. Hey, I don't know if you were on here earlier, but before I hit that start button on every project, I say a little prayer. Just because, right before I hit that start button, I'm like, don't act up. Then I hit the start button. So I know what you mean. But I'm so glad you got over that curve and you just like, okay, let me do it. Um, yes, but you are quilting and it looks great. Thank you, Sean. I was trying, I seen a pack of fat orders and I was actually going to try to do it in blocks, but I was just like, yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but I would like to try and make a full quilt for myself. Definitely not anything I would be selling, but just to try. But yeah, I'm like baby steps, a little bit at a time. I love your new bags. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Mm. Yeah, Sean, I've been seeing your 25 days of Christmas. I'll hop on the live and like listen while I'm working and stuff like that. Never really done the Vlogmas thing just because, again, the introvert in me. And then it's just like my days are kind of sporadic and so random. So, yeah, my stuff would be all over the place. Thank you. I'm having so much fun doing it. Nice. Right. Well, y'all, I think I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And again, make sure y'all are in the Facebook group so I'll know when y'all are ready and got those machines threaded, and we can start with the Zoom. And again, it'll probably be a Friday or I'm sorry, not a Friday or Saturday, Saturday or Sunday, and it's most likely going to be like that second weekend of January. And we'll get on there and we'll work on some designs, and I'll work on some simple designs. I'll digitize them, I'll test them, and then get everybody's file format depending on your machine and get them over to you prior to the live so you can get it, uploaded into your machine. And then, or if you need to know how to upload the designs into your machine, I can show you that as well. But it's definitely going to be very extremely beginner friendly, step by step. So we can get y'all that have these machines that have not touched them, we can get y'all using these machines because that is money you are leaving on the table. And as soon as you start, whether even if you're doing it for hobby, soon as you start making items, wearing them, posting them, trust me, people you know, or even people you don't know, are gonna ask, "Where did you get them? Can you make them one?" And it's gonna go in that order. Trust me. Oh, you don't want to leave money on the table like that. Y'all got these expensive machines, so we gonna get y'all to turn them on and use them, okay? Okay, Landry. Yeah, make sure you join the Facebook group. If I don't get to the approvals, Vanessa will. My girl Vanessa, she goes through and approves everybody, welcomes everybody. She is the best. Let's see. Oh, you are Sean Wynn. Okay, I have to. Well, I'm normally watching when you go live and stuff like that. So I'll be watching to see when you're doing a quilt along. As long as it's beginner friendly, because yeah, I'm probably gonna have a lot of questions and I'm probably gonna get on your nerves. But yeah, I would like to do one for myself just to say I did it. But I'm enjoying quilting the bags. So that has been fun for me and I kind of just winged it and hey, I figured it out. But yeah, let me know when. I would definitely love to join. Thank you, Brandy. I am so glad for everybody that joined, all the questions, y'all helping each other, the tips, and I'm gonna be doing the silhouette studio, showing you guys how to make rhinestone templates. That tutorial's coming. The Minky blanket tutorial is coming, as well as the Pixie bag and the tote bag. So I'm gonna move those four ahead of the other tutorials I had planned, and are gonna be my next four tutorials that I'm gonna do, so I can get those done because those have been the most requested tutorials over the last few months. So those are going to be, I promise y'all, those are going to be my next four tutorials. Mm. Thank you, pretty eyes. And I'm going to be on you, girl. I'm gonna be on you. Okay, yes, 100% beginner friendly. Okay, Sean, I'm gonna be looking out for it. And then so I'll know what all supplies I need to get and I can follow along with you and hopefully try to make me a quilt because the whole binding and all that process and I have bias tape. I have bias tape maker, all that stuff. That's the part that kind of throws me off, to be honest with you. I feel like I could put the blocks together, get them in order and sew them correctly. But after that, I'm lost. That after that, I really don't know what to do. And I've watched some tutorials, but it's just like the the explanation of how and why really isn't there. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Faker. So thank y'all, everybody that's been hanging in there with me for the last, I don't even know, couple of hours. I think it might have been a few hours we've been on here. And watching me finish up these shirts. So I'm gonna get these packaged up, do my photos, and then get them packaged up and so I can ship off. But make sure y'all join the Facebook group, and I will see y'all in the next, if not live, definitely a tutorial coming this coming week. See y'all then. Thank y'all so much for joining. Y'all.